Good afternoon and welcome to Tyrone GA TV. My name is Jerry Tracy and this afternoon we're in Healy Park for the LCC Group Tyrone Senior Football Championship final between Trillick and Dungannon. The 2020 Championship, well, what can one say? It has been one for the purists, laced with drama, excitement, controversy and shocks. A championship with extra time, penalty shootouts, late goals, last gasp points. A championship with a mix of glory and agony for players, managers and supporters. The senior club teams of Tyrone should all be lauded for a wonderful year, and hopefully for the year that's in it, you've enjoyed all the drama brought to you here live on Tyrone GA TV. And so a championship with 16 teams that got off to a belter when Clonoe and Coal Island faced off on the 13th of August. It now has 2 teams left standing, and in the next few hours we'll find out where the O'Neill Cup will reside for 2020. Will it be Dungannon going for their 11th title and their first since 1956, or will it be Trillick going for their 9th? And if they succeed, they will become the first team since Carrickmore in 2004 and 2005 to do back-to-back victories. With me in the commentary box is a man who knows all about championship final days, having won 6 titles with Eric Kilkieran between 1993 and 2006, and that is Peter Canavan. Peter, you're very welcome on what is a wonderful day and a wonderful occasion for Tyrone club football.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you summed it up very well, Ger. This past 5 weeks of championship football in Tyrone has been remarkable. Without doubt, it's been one of the finest championships that I can remember. And that's not just senior championship, the intermediate and junior championship has provided some really exciting clashes. And today we have 2 teams who fully deserve to be here. They're here on merit. And the only disappointing aspect, Ger, of today's game, we have brilliant weather. 2 teams that have played fantastic football to get here, but unfortunately it's not a crowd that's befitting of a Tyrone senior championship final. And those few hundred that are lucky enough to be here will feel privileged, but it's just a pity that the 2 teams, they certainly deserve to be playing in front of 7,000 or 8,000 here, which would normally be the case, maybe more in Healy Park. But I'm sure the 2 teams will not disappoint the people that have come here to watch and the viewers that are going to see it on TV. I think we're in for a great game of football.
Trillick, Peter, will come in as favourites, but in the year that's in it and in what sort of the football that we have watched over the last 6 or 7 weeks, can we expect the unexpected yet again?
With this Dungannon team, you certainly can, because they should have been dead and gone the first round. They weren't. They hung in there. They managed to defeat Lochmacurry. Second round, Arboe, 3 points down with 3 minutes left off extra time. They were dead and gone, and they scored 5 on the trot to come back against Errigal. Second half extra time, 3 down again, and they showed tremendous resilience once again. And they have quality. They finished the game really well against Errigal, and a feature of all their games has been that the team that has finished for them has arguably been much stronger than the team that has started. And I'd say coming into today's game, that's one of the big talking points, one of the big decisions that the Dungannon management has had to make is should we start some of these players that are coming on and playing so well, because the danger is that if Trillick get a good lead and get off to a good start, there's no point in bringing on your best team, when you're 7 or 8 points down. But in terms of hunger, there's a great atmosphere about Dungannon. There's a great vibe with this team, and they're coming into this final extremely confident. They've taken on Trillick before in a county final, be it an intermediate final, and got the better of them when they weren't expected to. So to answer your question, yes, I think it has the makings of a good game. I think Trillick's experience and know-how, and they've got some really top-class marquee players, which just may see them through, but I think we're in for a great game.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to what should be a terrific encounter in wonderful sunny conditions here in Healy Park. So we've heard from Peter Canavan, and now it's an opportunity to hear from both managers. And pitch side for us is our hard-working county PRO, that is Eugene McConnell, and he caught up with both managers. And firstly, we heard from Nigel Senior.
You're very welcome here today to Healy Park for the LCC Senior Championship final between Trillick St McCartans and Dungannon Thomas Clark's. I have with me now here the reigning Senior Championship manager here, Nigel Senior from the Trillick St McCartan's Club. Nigel, another final. You're getting used to this occasion.
You never get tired of it anyway, but no, I wouldn't say we're getting used to it, but it's good to be back, second year in a row now, so it doesn't happen very often.
That's certainly true, and Dungannon will provide stern and stiff opposition here today, and I'm sure you have your homework done, and by all accounts, you know, they have produced the goods in the opening rounds, and while you have been very progressive in your performances, this is going to be a tough task.
Oh, it's going to be a tough task, surely. You only have to look at them. You know, there's good footballers all over the pitch. You know, there's good footballers full back line, mobility out of their defence. You know, mobile midfielders who are good players, and you know, a forward line that that's kind of got, can get scores from any area inside the 50. So there's headaches all over the place there.
Yes, and one of the plus things for you going into this game today is you're able to operate from a full deck with returning from injury Dara Gallagher, your captain, and young Shawnee Donnelly. So everybody's back fit and fight.
Yeah, everybody's back. Damien and Dara are back. Richie and Jib are 100% fit. So listen, there's no, from an injury point of view or a preparation point of view, there's no excuses that way there. Like, you know, if everybody's fit and ready to go.
And finally, conditions today, Nigel, are perfect. No breeze, the sun's shining. You couldn't ask for better.
No, I set up for two good footballing teams to play football, so hopefully that breaks out.
Thank you very much, Nigel, and all the best, and hopefully we'll be talking to you after the game's over. Good luck. I want to welcome here the Dungannon Thomas Clark's manager here, Chris Rafferty. A great occasion for any club to reach a county final, and no doubt that's no different for Dungannon.
Yeah, it certainly is a massive occasion for us. We're very conscious of the fact that we haven't been here since 1986, and as much as we're looking forward to the game, we've enjoyed the build up to it and the specialness of being in the top game in the county for club football.
I was just speaking to the Trillick manager earlier there, and I just happened to mention to him, Chris, there, ideal conditions, beautiful day, sun shining, no breeze. You couldn't ask for better.
Absolutely. It's not too hot. It's totally dry. There's a great give in the ground, and when it cools, it'll be even better.
Trillick's probably going into this game slight favourites, but the performances that Dungannon have pulled out of the bag in the lead up to this, there's not a lot in between the two teams.
Well, look, we're here to compete as well as we can. We do appreciate and understand that they are strong favourites, but we're here and we don't fear anybody. We're here to play well. And
just looking at the team line out, you're expecting to pick from a full squad of fit players for today. There's no late cry-offs or nothing like that?
No late cry-offs at all. We've been lucky, unfortunate in relation to injuries. Last week, for the semi-final, we're missing Sean Malloy, who had a head injury and was concussed, but he's fully fit and available for selection.
And just, you mentioned there in your intro there, you talked about 1986. It's a long time to wait to get into a county final, and occasions like this don't come around too often, so I'm sure all the players are looking forward to it equally as well as the manager.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly looking forward to it, and I do know that they're looking forward to it. In terms of when the last game was, or the last final, it doesn't really weigh on them. None of them were born that long ago, and this is a fresh start for them, and they're embracing it in that context.
Well, Chris, hopefully we'll be talking to you after the game's over, and all the best, and I'm glad you're able to join us here on Tyrone GA TV today.
Just one thing, I was asked to mention a few friends. They're overseas at the minute, especially the ones in Australia, and I have a best man, Brendan Mallon, and my godson, Cian Mallon. So lads, I hope you wake the neighbours.
Okay, good night. Thanks.
Well, there you are. That's the voice of Chris Rafferty there, and also Nigel Senior beforehand. And Peter, both managers sounding pretty relaxed and looking forward to this.
Yeah, very much so. As Chris has rightly said, there's been a great atmosphere around Dungannon, and they're really relishing the prospect of taking on the county champions in Trillick. As far as Nigel Senior is concerned, what a remarkable job he has managed to do with these Trillick lads, and each one of them speaks so highly of him and the way that he's shaped this team, and now they're on the verge of winning back-to-back county titles. So, as I say, the game's very well set up.
Yeah, and you talk about the way he shaped this team, and this gives us an opportunity to take a look at the team that Nigel Sini has picked for this 2020 championship final here in Healy Park. So the Trillick St McCartan's team will line out as follows. In goals will be wearing number 1 will be Ryan Kelly. Wearing number 2 there, we have it on our screens, is Stephen O'Donnell. 3 is Rory Kelly. Gavin McCarran will wear 4. Michael Gallagher will wear 5. And one late change sees Daniel McDonald, as he has done in the previous games, come in for the injured Dara Gallagher, but we expect to see Dara featured sometime this afternoon. Then wearing 7 is Rory Brennan. The midfield pairing will be Richard Donnelly, and he'll be partnered by the 20-year-old Liam Gray, one of the 4 sets of brothers starting on this team. The forward line then sees the county captain Matty Donnelly wear 10, Niall Jib Donnelly wear 11, Ryan Gray wear number 12, and the full forward line then, the 2 Gardays, one wearing 13 and one wearing 15, that's James and Simon, and in between them the sharpshooter that scored 20 points in the championship to date, that's number 14 Lee Brennan. What a forward line, Peter Canavan.
Yeah, and if you take the 2 wing half forwards out of it, Matty and Ryan Gray, it's actually a very small forward line, especially the full forward line, so that'll pose, they're very mobile and they work very hard off the ball, those inside players. So they'll pose a completely different threat to Dungannon than what they have been accustomed to in recent games, Ger. Yeah,
and as both sides get ready now in their respective huddles, we'll get a look at the Dungannon Thomas Clark's side. First final since 1986, and lining out in goals will be number 1 Dara Martin, the cornerback, the man who will go down in Dungannon history for that famous 45 kicked against Errigal in the last round. That will be number 2 Kieran Parker. Then David Walsh is 3, Conal Devlin, the 19-year-old student, is 4. Number 5 is Dylan O'Hagan. 6 is Sean Malloy. Mark McKerney wears number 7. Middle of the field sees one late change. That's Brian McNulty will drop out, and he will be replaced by number 20 Ryan Jones, but don't expect Jones to play there. And then Patrick McNulty, the captain of the team, will wear number 9. Moving into the forward division, and that sees Ryan Jones's brother Daly. He will wear number 10. Oren Mallon will wear number 11. Matthew Walsh will wear 12. And then the full forward line, it's Lorcan Mallon wearing 13, Patrick Malloy wearing 14, and 15 the sharpshooter Paul Donaghy with 31 points will wear number 15.
You're quite right, Ger. We don't expect Ryan Jones to play midfield. I would imagine that Oren's wearing number 11, lined out at centre half. He'll go straight into midfield, and you'll see Matty Walsh maybe moving to centre half and Ryan playing on the wing.
We have a moment's silence here in Healy Park. Very respectful moment's silence there, and now we'll have our national anthem, our Ron Naveen, and that will be sung this afternoon in Healy Park by Derry Lochan native and score Sincher star, that's Ashley McCord. Well, the stage is set here in Healy Park for the 2020 LCC Group Tyrone Senior Football Championship final between Trillick St. McCartans and Dungannon Thomas Clark's. I know there's a large audience all around the world tuned into this, and one man in particular that I know is watching it is out in New Zealand. He's been there for 40 years. He was a member of the 1956 team, and that's Brian Quinn. And Brian, we hope you're going to enjoy this broadcast and hope that you're going to enjoy what your native team, Dungannon Clark's, provide for you today. They've given us great entertainment in this run to the final. So if you're anywhere in the world and you want to shout out, we will try and pick up your message if you come through on my Twitter feed at Ger_Tracy. I will try and pick it up at some stage during the commentary. Peter, and brilliant atmosphere for the small crowd.
In terms of vocal support, I think Dungannon are one up on that front. Their supporters going crazy over at the far side and giving their players every encouragement. Key matchups, Ger, as with any big game, is going to be decided by key matchups. So I'm going to be looking forward to see who picks up Paul Donaghy, the chief marksman for Dungannon. And likewise, if Dungannon are going to get in out of today's game, whoever is going to pick up Matty Donnelly, and it looks as if it's Matty Walsh from Dungannon playing number 12, wing half forward, who's gone back to pick up Matty Donnelly. So that's going to be a key battle.
We're underway, and Shane Meehan is our match referee. Standby referee is Shane Doherty. Linesman is Mark Loughran. The fourth official is Sean Devaney. And of course, they'll be assisted by their umpires. That's Cal McCrory, Paddy Grimes, Cal Forbes, and John Kerlin. We wish all them luck. We wish all the players and officials as the 2020 final gets underway, and the ball is in the hands of Ryan Gray over there for Trillick. Gives it back to Michael Gallagher. Michael Gallagher gives it inside. Trillick, patient opening start. The ball fed over this near side of the field now towards James Gardy. James will do well to keep this one in play. Keeps it in play, but maybe gives the ball away to Dylan O'Hagan. O'Hagan, 21-year-old personal trainer, gives it to Mark McKerney. If there's one man who will pick up the ball on numerous occasions in this game, it'll be Mark McKerney. What a brilliant young player he is, as the ball is in the hands of Oren Mallon. Mallon, the 21-year-old student, gives it over there and eventually comes back there to Walsh. That's Matthew Walsh, one of the two brothers, the Walsh brothers in the team. All the Dungannon players trying to get a touch of the ball in these opening seconds of the game. Mark McKerney again gives it back to Walsh. David Walsh, or Matthew Walsh I should say. Back it goes to Sean Malloy. Back inside again. Possession football, the name of the day. Paul Donaghy in possession, back to McKerney. That's his third touch, and we've only played a minute and 20 seconds. Ball fed inside, back it goes to McKerney again, fourth touch. Back it goes to Matthew Walsh. Walsh in possession. Over now the field, it comes towards Paul Donaghy. Donaghy looks up, thought about delivering it long, but Trillick have plenty of players. They have a sweeper back in there, and that's Rory Brennan. But the ball is in the hands now of the Dungannon men, and Donaghy thought about it going for on the right foot. Now on to the left, gets a shot in, but I think it'll drop short. It does. It's dropped short into the safe hands of Ryan Kelly, the 21-year-old barber, in between the sticks for the Trillick men. The ball fed out to Stephen O'Donnell. O'Donnell was captain in 2019. The captain today, of course, is Dara Goller, but not on the field of play, not starting at least. Richard Donnelly in possession. Donnelly feeds it forward, looking for Lee Brennan. Lee Brennan tussling for it down there with David Walsh, and Walsh has been given the foul. It's been an entertaining opening.
Yeah, and a good start by Dungannon. The first individual tussle between Lee Brennan and David Walsh. David Walsh has come out on top, and Rory Brennan appears to be playing the sweeper. Jerry, I'll let you accommodate in the game. Yeah, there he is, picking up a loose ball already. And Stevie O'Donnell has got the arduous task of picking up Dungannon's key forward, Paul Donaghy.
Well, that'll be one that'll be worth the admission money alone. As coming forward now as Niall Jib Donnelly gives it back to Brennan. Lee Brennan, of course. Brennan trying to solos with the left. Will he shoot with the right? He will, but it's going to drop short, and it's going to drop into the safe hands of Dara Martin. Lee Brennan, of course, 20 points in the championship to date. 6 against Galbally, 9 against Killyclower, 5 against Coal Island, but none today as of yet. Dungannon, this is a very open, entertaining start to the game. 3 minutes played, no score, but the ball is in the hands of Patrick McNulty. McNulty goes to ground, closed down, and the referee says the ball was thrown, and the free will go the way of the men from Trillick St. McCartans. And Richie Donnelly takes it quickly, gets it to James Gardy. Gardy into Lee Brennan. Brennan 45 metres out. Brennan slips a good ball inside to Matty Donnelly. Donnelly had the power and the pace to take it through the tackles. Referee says the tackle was illegal. The free will go the way of Trillick, and I'm sure Lee Brennan will fancy this one.
Yeah, and Dungannon would need to be careful in giving away fouls, because they may have got away with it against Errigal on a few occasions. With Lee Brennan, every opportunity he has got this championship, I think he's kicked virtually every free kick. But it's been, cagey enough start. Both teams hitting ball short into the goalkeeper's hands. So first real opportunity from Lee, 45 metres out. Slight breeze behind him.
Here comes Brennan, 23-year-old student, left-footed, it's on its way. He has the distance, has he the accuracy? He certainly has. He nearly always has the accuracy. He's got the honour and distinction of scoring the first point in the 2020 county final, and Trillick lead by a point.
Yeah, and as I say, that's a warning to Dungannon. You don't give away needless fouls inside the 45-metre line. That man will punish you all day long.
Kick out from the Dara Martin, the Dungannon keeper, but it drops straight into the hands of the man who's going to play sweeper. That's Rory Brennan, and Brennan picks it up and eventually comes to the brother Lee. Lee gives it to Rory. Rory back inside to Gavin McCarran. McCarran, 30-year-old building surveyor, gives it back there to Lee Brennan. Brennan, 45 metres out, gives it back one more time to Richie Donnelly. Donnelly looks up, sees his options. I think I see a football boot on the pitch. I don't know who it belongs to. We'll track that one later on, but there certainly looks like it either that or it's a divot. We'll follow that in a moment, but now we're following the football, and the ball is in the hands of Liam Gray. Gray back inside to Matty Donnelly. Donnelly picks it up, and faced up as Peter alluded to by Matthew Walsh, but he's strong and purposeful there and gives it back to the brother. The brother, of course, is Richard. Richard inside now to Rory Brennan. Brennan to the brother Lee. Lee inside to Gardy. Brilliant football, excellent football. Oh, the referee says that James Gardy threw the ball. He was close to it, so you have to admire the referee for blowing it.
Yeah, look here, maybe it was okay. Yeah. But Shane Meehan was in a much better position, in fairness to me, so in 7 or 8 yards of it. But again, twice Rory Brennan has got into good positions. Once he wasn't found with the ball, that time he very nearly was. So Dungannon can't afford to leave him free to charge through the middle of their defence.
Kieran Barker, the man who broke the hearts of Eric Kilkieran in the semi-final, gives the ball forward there now to Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones, this is a good run. Still Jones goes, but he drops the ball and is picked up there by Stephen O'Donnell. But the ball is on the ground, and who's going to come out with it? Great battle and great tussling for it. Ryan Jones goes to the ground. He's surrounded by 3-4 Trillick players. Has it gone out for 45? It has gone out for a 45. I think it's Cal Forbes, maybe the umpire over there, that puts up the hand and indicates that that's a 45 metre. But Jones, he was persistent if nothing else.
Yeah, as soon as he got the ball, there was one thing on his mind, Jared. That was take his man on. He's got blistering speed. Good defence initially by Trillick. Brilliant tackle on the ball by Rory Kelly, their full back. But dare I say, a great scoring opportunity for Dungannon. We've seen this man, Kieran Barker, come up and strike 45s over the bar before, unfortunately, in
from your perspective.
But
yeah.
Again, very confident fella, lovely striker of the ball, and
he
it's
scored
not a straightforward kick.
4 points in the championship to date. Can it be 5? It looks from the minute that it left its boot that it was, well, it came off the crossbar or the upright and back into play. I thought it was sailing over the bar there for a moment, but came off the upright and back into play, and Owen Mallon gathers possession. Can the Dungannon men pick up something? Well, Barker will get another opportunity because he's been fouled right on the 45 metre line, but McKierney wants to take the kick quick and does so. Feeds it inside there. Well held on this occasion by Patrick Malloy. Malloy very close to the sideline on the 13 metre line, on the 20 metre line. Back it goes to Jones. He's had a great start, but he's sore. He got a hit a moment ago, but he's still in possession. Did he carry it too long? Referee says no, he's been fouled, and Ryan Jones will be impressed with a start.
Yeah, he's got on a lot of ball. Very good game against Errigal as well, and I think a good move from Dungannon management to actually start him, because already he is causing problems. His speed and his direct running is causing problems for the Trillick defence. Good scoring opportunity, and not the most difficult of free kicks for Paul Donaghy. You'd expect him to strike it over the bar.
Well, it's curling. Has it curled over? No, he's pulled it to the left hand side or the right hand side as we look out, and he's pulled it wide. So we've played 7 minutes, and just that 1 point from a free from Lee Brennan is the only score in the game. That's the first wide from the Dungannon men, and you wouldn't have thought that Paul Donaghy would be the man that would register a wide from that position, but that's the case, as Michael Gallagher, of course, his brother or his cousin is Dara Gallagher, who's the captain of the side, in possession, gives it over there towards Ryan Gray. Gray looks up, threads a good ball inside, looking for Gardy. Well won on that occasion by Simon Gardy. Gardy feeds it back out one more time to Richie Donnelly. Donnelly operating over on that left-hand side, close to the stand. Back it goes to Michael Gallagher. Gallagher, the 20-year-old student, current under 20 player, gives it back to the sweeper. That's Rory Brennan. Brennan loves to stride forward. Still Brennan going. Lays it off. Opportunity. Intelligent flick there now on the field of play. There is Daniel McDonald, the late replacement for Dara Gallagher. McDonald laid it off there. Eventually comes back to Gray down below us. Back inside now to Lee Brennan. Brennan switches the play over there towards Richie Donnelly. Donnelly, great width to this Trillick team and this Trillick attack. Over and back, either side it goes. Michael Gallagher is the latest man to be involved. Back inside to Gardy. Simon Gardy. Gardy cuts inside. He has 2 goals in the championship to date. Gives it back there to Liam Gray. Gray gets the shot away, but it's gone to the left-hand side and gone wide. 1 wide apiece. 1 point to Trillick. Trillick lead after 9.5 minutes. It's low scoring.
No scoring, but again, the build-up play by Trillick is very good. They don't take the ball into traffic. They use the full width of the pitch very well, and then they have their faster players trying to take the ball off the shoulder. But in the early stages, just again, I see Rory Brennan down here. He's on his own in the middle of the pitch. It's something that Dungannon are going to have to sort out. You can't leave him free to bomb forward whenever he chooses. He's too good, and he's going to make them pay eventually.
All sorts of jerseys and colours in the stand. I've seen a Monaghan jersey there on our screen, so they've got tickets from somewhere to get into this one. They have connections, I'm sure, as the ball is fed forward there, and James Gardy is the man in possession. Gives it back to Brennan, Lee Brennan. Back inside it goes to Niall Jim Donnelly. Donnelly gives it back to Brennan. Brennan through the hands in towards Richie Donnelly. To Liam Gray, I should say. Liam Gray back inside to Gardy. Gardy jinks and twists and turns, brings it into the tackle, but gets out of the tackle, gets the shot away. Does Simon Gardy, but going back there and gather the ball safely is Matthew Walsh for Dungannon. Walsh, of course, the brother is David. The mother and father, I met them after the Arboe game. The mother is Fiona, she's from Carrickmore. The father's from St John's, that's Seamus. Both hotbeds of the GAA. They're looking to turn, of course, Dungannon. The Walshes are looking to turn Dungannon into a hotbed of the GAA. And they have a very youthful team out here today. Average age under the around 22 of the starting team. As the ball is in the hands of the Trillick man, that's Niall Donnelly. Donnelly gives it back to Richard. Richard Donnelly back inside it goes there to Lee Brennan. Brennan crosses the halfway line. 1 point Trillick lead to no score to Dungannon. Ball in the hands now of Liam Gray. Back inside it goes to Gardy. Gardy slips it one more time to Brennan. Brennan out foraging back inside towards Matty Donnelly. Matty Donnelly was left isolated in there on his own, and Matthew Walsh and him had a contest, and Donnelly went down and referee awards the free.
Yeah, it's just interesting the role that Nigel Senior has given to Lee Brennan. We would have expected Lee to stay closer to goal today. Already the game is 11 minutes old, and I would say he's had 9 or 10 possessions because he's coming out round the 45, getting his hands on the ball, and it was his pass in there to Matty Donnelly that set up that scoring opportunity, which will be a certain point for Trillick. And Matty, like he does in games, he can drift into the full forward line, and then when they need him out round the middle, and especially in the second half of games, he'll have more energy to have a major influence on it. So,
but is that something that Dungannon need to nip in the bud right away, not leave Matty Donnelly isolated one-on-one?
But Jared, they had 13 men behind the ball in that last passage of play, so there was no reason why that pocket of space should have been there. So they'll be very disappointed that they left Matty Walsh isolated one-on-one.
Lee Brennan, as expected, pops it over the bar, his second point of the game, and that means that Trillick lead 2 points to no score. 12 minutes played here. Of course, there's a personal battle for the top scorer in the championship this year. It looks as if maybe Paul Donaghy has that one all wrapped up, but if Lee Brennan keeps going the way he is, you never know. Paul Donaghy has 31 points, Mark Bradley has 21, and Lee Brennan has 20 points, so make that 22. So he's another 9 to go, and keep Donaghy quiet, and he may well end up with that award. But here is the aforementioned Donaghy. Tried to flick it off there to Sean Malloy, but was intercepted by Rory Brennan. He's popping up everywhere, as is Richard Donnelly. Donnelly gives it to his goalkeeper in his debut season. That, of course, is Ryan Kelly. Over to Michael Gallagher. Terrific width, as I've said before, to the way that this Trillick team attack. Daniel McDonald lays it inside, and here come the Trillick men again to the aforementioned Lee Brennan. He's making all the movements out round the midfield sector, picking up an awful lot of ball. playing nearly like a quarterback. Here he goes again, slips it inside, looking for the return. This is brilliant. Liam Brennan in. Brennan, can he finish? Yes, he can. What a wonderful goal by Lee Brennan. He started the move, he was on the end of the move, and he rattles the back of the net in Healy Park, and Dungannon lead, or Trillick lead, a goal and 2 to Dungannon's no score. What a goal, Peter Canavan.
Oh, absolutely superb from one of the players of the championship. But again, Jerry picked the ball up deep, he picked it up outside his 45-metre line. He was low to give, nobody checked his run, fast hands by Trillick, and what a brilliant start. And Lee Brennan, brilliance. Emphasised once more on the big stage.
Oh, that's just a fantastic goal by Lee Brennan. Started it, finished it, but his finish was memorable. Brilliant score. I talked about him competing for the top score in the championship. Well, he's added 5 to his tally already. That brings him to 25. He's only 6 behind Donaghy now at this stage. But he'll not be worrying about that. He'll be worrying about the O'Neill Cup residing in Trillick for the next 12 months. And they're well on their way with a terrific start to this game. 1-2 to no score as we come close to the water break. Matty Donnelly will be very aware of that. He's back now, want to ensure that his team doesn't concede any scores in this before the next water break, or before the water break, as Gavin McCarron now comes forward. He's got a point in the championship to date. Gives it that man Lee Brennan, the star of the show already. Brennan looks up, left foot, right foot, it doesn't really matter. Here he goes on the right foot. Good intelligent ball inside, out in front, and picking it up there is Gardy. Back inside it goes to Gray. Gray thought about shooting, lays it off one more time. Ball is in the hands of the brother Ryan Gray. Ryan Gray back to Simon Gardy. Gardy out to Matty Donnelly. Donnelly thought about the shot on the right foot, but gives it to Michael Goller. Goller, the wing half back, coming forward. Goller likes the look of it, but no, it's gone to the right hand side. It's gone wide, but the width of this attack.
What great play by Trillick, but that was a serious let off for Dungannon, because Michael Gallagher didn't realise one of the Greys, he's coming out past the 40. I don't know if it was Ryan. It was Ryan Gray was standing on his own on the 13-metre line, wide open, and Michael had seen him, clipped the pass in. It was another goal scoring opportunity. But Trillick very much in control at the minute. Yeah, they're playing excellent football here. They're using every inch of grass here in Healy Park to expose this Dungannon team as the ball goes over the head of Patrick Malloy and into the safe hands there of Ryan Kelly. And Trillick come again. Ball fisted forward there. Picked up by Donnelly. Donnelly leaves it inside. That's Niall Donnelly, of course. Back inside it goes there to to Lee Brennan. Lee Brennan being marked there by David Walsh, but he's given him a torrid time as the ball is given away on that occasion, and a bit of respite for Dungannon. And Daly Jones, or Ryan Jones, has it. Ryan Jones gives it to Paul Donaghy. Donaghy coming deeper and deeper to get possession. Gives it to McKerney. And really Dungannon need a score to get them into this game, to settle them down somewhat. It's a huge occasion for the Dungannon club. There's been a lot of activity in Dungannon over the last week. And, well, who's to say that that doesn't affect some of these players that have never played in a county final before. Ball in the hands of Daly. Back inside it goes to Mallon. Mallon slows the pace of the ball down. Brings it close to the sideline. Still in the hands of Oren Mallon. He gives it back there to Matty Walsh. Walsh, crossfield ball. Possession, the name of the game. The man who hasn't really been involved in the game so far is Patrick McNulty. McNulty, who rescued his side against Loch McCrory. Back it goes to McNulty. Thought about maybe going for the shot. Instead, goes over the far side of the field. Cutting and jinking inside is Daly. Back outside, or Daly Jones. Back inside it goes again to Paul Donaghy. Donaghy being marshalled everywhere he goes. Gives it back to the man who started the move a few moments ago. Man with brilliant pace. That's Oren Mallon. Back it goes to Ryan Jones. Jones tries to give it back. Slipping it, but gathering possession. Doing well as Donaghy. So too slipping there is Lorcan Mallon. And Mallon has won himself a free. And this is a crucial kick. Patient play in fairness to Dungannon. But I think from a Dungannon point of view, you know, I think they need to get Paul Donaghy closer to the goal. Trillick will be happy for Stevie O'Donnell to marshal him outside the 45 around the middle. I think Dungannon would have a much bigger threat if they had Donaghy and Paddy Quinn, because Donaghy's a good bit taller than Stevie O'Donnell, so it would help them if they played him closer inside.
Here comes Donaghy, but he's pulled this one again and it's gone to the left and gone wide, so a second wide, and it's time for the water break. We know that there's a lot of Dungannon Clark supporters in McAleer's Bar in Dungannon. Great supporters of the Clarks and the county, of course, all being socially distanced there in McAleer's, but they'll be disappointed, Peter, with how this first 15-17 minutes have gone for their side.
Yeah, I don't think 5 points is a fair reflection on the score. Dungannon had a couple of good scoring opportunities that you would expect. Barker hit the post with 45. Paul Donaghy missed 2 free kicks that you would normally expect him to kick over the bar. But they just need a point to settle their nerves, to get into the game. We know they're going to finish strong. We know they've been behind in games before and they haven't panicked. So again, the gun has been put to their head once again, but you can't afford to let this Trillick side get 7 or 8 points ahead, because they're too cute, they're too experienced to allow that lead to go.
Well, just a few messages picking up here. Shout out to the Boyle family watching at home. This one here is from Matthew Manterfield. My first time watching with Alice McMullen from Oma. Big love coming from Cardiff. Go Dungannon, go. Sinead Donnelly cheering for Trillick with Patsy Donnelly and the family in New York. Pete, this one here, can you give a shout out to Louise watching in Belfast, a big Trillick fan. We'll try and pick these up as we go along, but we have to follow the play. That's what's important today. And the ball is in the hands of Gardaí. Oh, that's a high challenge on Gardaí. He slipped into the tackle. Nothing intentional there, I don't think, but it's going to be a free in there to the men from Trillick and a chance to extend their lead.
Yeah, and whilst Trillick are more disciplined in their defending, Dungannon again have got to be careful with Lee Brennan inside the 45. He'll have a go at this, even though it's at the wrong side of the pitch normally for a left-footed taker. So I think Shane Meehan will correctly put Dylan O'Hagan into the book. Yeah, he's given him a yellow card. Yeah. And as I say, it's Dungannon that needed the score after the water break, not Trillick. And again, the way Lee's playing, I wouldn't be surprised if he kicked us over the bar.
Certainly not. The last shout out on this batch is from Maura Devlin Clancy. She's in San Francisco. She's watching the game with the children and grandchildren of Paddy Devlin are cheering on the Clarks. Clarks Abu. So if you have a message you want read out, just get me on Twitter at @Jer_Tracy, and we'll try and give you a shout out as we follow this kick from Lee Brennan, the only man that has scored in this championship final to date. He's got 1-2 to his name. Can he make it 1-3? Well, he'll have the distance, I would think. Will he have the accuracy? Here he comes. He's steadies down. The usual preamble. Kicks it left-footed. It's on its way. It's dropping, and off the upright, and into the safe hands there of Matthew Walsh. Walsh gathers the ball. Terrific conditions here in Healy Park. You're watching Tyrone GA TV, coming to you live, as I say, from Healy Park, Oma, in the LCC Group Tyrone Senior Football Championship Final, in association with our broadcast partners from Todd's Leap, and we thank them for all their support making these broadcasts possible. And what an eventful year it has been. This live streaming has been a godsend for so many people. We hope you're enjoying it. Matthew Walsh is on the ball down below us. He has Ryan Jones alongside him. Jones picks up the ball, strides forward, 45 metres out. Walsh continues his overlap and run. Still Walsh goes. Member of Peter Canavan's team in 2015 when they won the All-Ireland under-21 title. Ball in the hands of Donaghy. Donaghy back inside to Ryan Jones. Jones gives it to the brother. In fact, it's Mark McKerney. McKerney comes forward. McKerney looking to win the free. The referee has his hand up. The referee gives the advantage. And I suppose, Peter, these are the crucial kicks that the Dungannon men need to take. They've missed 2 to date.
Yeah, and I thought Paul would have left it to Kieran Barker. Kieran's well able to strike it from there. They've elected to go short. Daly Jones on the ball.
Yeah, Daly Jones cutting inside, has Donaghy inside him, but elects to take it with him, brings it into a little bit of trouble, slips a short ball now, shot there by Patrick Malloy. Malloy gets the shot away. It looks good. It is good. It's the opening score of the 2020 final for Patrick Malloy and Dungannon Clarks. He's got 4 in the competition to date. Make that 5.
Brilliant approach play by Daly Jones. Fast feet. Waited in opening, waited on a bit of support coming, and Paddy Malloy has just given Dungannon their first score, and badly needed. Let's see if they can follow up on that.
Well, 22 minutes gone before the register the first score, but never write this Dungannon Clarks team out of any game, because we've watched them this year against Loch McCrory. The one after extra time, 223 to 213. Then they beat Arboe after extra time as well, 23 points to 215. And then of course Eric Kilkieran and Neil Bader as well after extra time, 19 to 212. So you can never write them off. They'll battle to the very finish. They never know when they're beat, as Lee Brennan feeds it inside to the brother. The brother, of course, is Rory. Rory's the older brother. Slips it off there to one of the Gray brothers. This time, of course, it is Liam Gray. Back it goes, close to the sideline over there. Lee Brennan pulls on it. Nearly worked out fortuitously for him, but back inside there and picking up the ball is David Walsh. He gets it to his goalkeeper, and his goalkeeper moves the ball out through the hands there to Kieran Barker. Barker over the far side of the field, stand side, terrific noise over there from the Dungannon support that have assembled around that 45-metre line where the action is taking place at the moment. The ball through the hands over here to Colin Devlin. Devlin, the dual star. Back inside it goes the fullback David Walsh. Now Trillick start to retreat, get numbers behind the ball. Just two players ahead of the ball. As coming forward with it there is Sean Malloy. Malloy left-footed ball. Good ball inside. Great tackle or tussle for it in there. But doing well as Patrick Malloy. Malloy gets the shot away, but it curls to the right-hand side and goes wide. And Malloy and Rory Kelly, that's a good battle inside, Peter.
Yeah, and fairness to the Dungannon players outfield, they are looking up, they are trying to get the ball into Paddy. But again, I would like to see Paul Donaghy closer to goal in there and presenting himself as a bigger threat to Trillick rather than out round the middle.
Kick out for the men from Trillick over the far side of the field. It goes. Everything is precision with this Trillick team, and on that occasion that was precision personified because the ball dropped just into the hands of Richard Donnelly, and this is a brilliant attack. The mark can be took if need be, but it goes for the shot and it goes over the bar. In fact, I think it was Gavin McCarron was stealing forward there. He got a point before in the championship. He's got another one.
Cornerback, and again Trillick using the width of the pitch very well. Every time they break from defence, there's men hugging both sidelines. And very well spotted by Ryan Gray. And at last Dungannon have managed to win a kick out. Trillick have won about 90% of the breaks here, but great fetching in the middle by Paddy McNulty.
Super take by McNulty. That's what this team will need. They'll need the leadership of Paddy McNulty, All-Ireland minor winner in 2010, a senior panellist in 2015 to 2019, but his focus is on his beloved Dungannon Clarks, and now they've got themselves a free, and this will be an opportunity for them. And I would think maybe Paul Donaghy maybe will come over and fancy his chances at this one.
I see Paddy Malloy's left foot, and probably not a bad decision. He's seen that Paul has missed the first two. Wouldn't be a straightforward kick for Paul. The sideline, official Mark Loughlin is telling him to come back a yard or two.
Big kick in the context of this game. 1-3 to a point. Here comes Malloy. He's kicked one in the game to date. Can he make it two? It's on its way. It looks good. It is good. Yes, over the bar it goes. His second point, and he's a man in confidence.
Well, it was good, number one, to see a player wanting to kick it as soon as the free was given. Paddy went straight out. He kicked a good point before that, and that's the sort of leadership that Dungannon needed at the minute.
That's their third point of the game, Peter. Something you mentioned before the game was the fact that sometimes Dungannon finish with a stronger team than they start with. And I was looking at some stats there before the game, and I noticed out of the 438 that they've scored in this championship to date, 212 of that has came from the bench.
That's right, and Richie getting away with a few steps there. Great tackling by the Dungannon forwards. But again, we have a Trillick defender hugging the sideline, and they're on the attack once again.
Yeah, Richie and Matty linking up there, and eventually comes to Daniel McDonald now in space and trying to utilise that space is Liam Gray. Liam Gray scored 1-3 in the championship today. Make that 1-4. That's a super score for the 20-year-old student. Brilliant score by Liam Gray.
Yeah, and again his brother Ryan again had taken up a very good position in the D and was free. Liam didn't spot him, but his striking superb. And once again, Trillick stretched their lead to 5 points.
Yeah, 6-1-4, of course. 3 points. So two minutes left in this game. 1-4 to 2 points, I should say. Yeah, just 1-4 to 2.
Blood substitution on the Trillick team.
I see a blood sub
number 6,
coming
Darren
on
Gallagher,
there.
number 13, James Gardy.
Just trying to pick up Darren Gallagher coming on for James Gardy as a blood sub, so we'll keep an eye on that one there as the ball is in the hands of the referee Shane Meehan, and he will throw the ball up.
Trillick looked to have secured possession, but great fighting for the breaking ball by Paul Donaghy, and he's forced the referee to throw the ball up. But Dungannon have got to do better with break ball around the middle.
And break ball, who's going to win it on this occasion? I think it's going to be the Trillick man. It is. Ryan Gray picks it up, gives it back to Rory Brennan, and the ball eventually comes to Michael Gallagher, and back it goes to Richard Donnelly. Trillick lead 1-4 to 2 points. Ball now in the hands of Niall Donnelly. Niall Donnelly has support there if required, uses that support. That's Gray, gives it back inside then to Dara Galler, who's on the field of play at the moment. He played the full league game last week. I think it was against Galway. The ball threaded inside. Great movement here on this occasion by Galler. Super movement by Galler. He goes to ground. It's closed down. What will the referee award here? He'll allow play to continue, and eventually indicates that there's a free there to the men from Dungannon. But the spaces that these Trillick players are finding is very, very threatening, looking for the Trillick men as they come out with the ball in the shape of the industrious Ryan Jones. Did he carry it too far? Did he get fouled? Referee says the latter. It's a free for Ryan Jones. And now will Kieran Parker fancy his chances at this one, or will they go short? They'll go short, and it's the ever willing and the hard working 21-year-old Mark McKerney who comes forward with it. McKerney still going, looked at the post, he's 45 metres out, gives it to Daly Jones. Daly Jones inside, still Jones. He created the last score that came from a free. That's a wonderful effort from Jones. That's a terrific point. It's the opening score from play in the game from Paddy Malloy got one from play and one from a free, but that's the opening score from play for Daly Jones. Good score.
Yeah, and they can thank Sean Malloy down on his own 13-metre line for that turnover. Great tackle on Derek Gallagher that set up that attack for Dungannon. And again, Dungannon are famous for finishing games strong. Can finish the first half strong, but a bit more pressure on Trillick.
3 minutes of additional time will be added on at the end of this first half. It has flown by wherever you are in the world. We hope you're enjoying this broadcast. This is the 2020 Senior Football Championship final here in Healy Park, Omagh. Dungannon, Clarks and Trillick. Dungannon looking to finish with a flourish. They've got the ball, they've got possession, kicked inside there by Patrick Malloy, but winning it out in front. And great defensive play on that occasion was the ever reliable Richie Donnelly. Yeah,
great play by Richie. He seen that Rory Brennan wasn't able to get back in. He filled in that sweeper role, read the pass superbly, because Paul Donnelly, if he had got that, he would have kicked it over the bar. But Dungannon working really hard in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Coming slightly more into the game, 1-4 to 3, 7 to 3, 4 points between the sides. As we are into the first minute of 3 to be added on. The ball is in the hands of the county captain. That's none other than the 29-year-old Matty Donnelly. 2 times All-Star, of course. Gives it back inside to his brother. His brother's 2 years younger, 27. The ball now in the hands of Ryan Gray. Ryan Gray, back it goes to Richie Donnelly. Patience, the name of the game, but filling a gap inside is Gavin McCarn. McCarn does well. He's kicked a point so far. Now, well, that's a throw ball, I would suggest. Yeah, Shane Meehan, and you have to give Shane Meehan credit. He's up at the play, making all the decisions close by.
Within 7 or 8 yards again for making that decision. So great play by the referee. But it's interesting, Trillick started to give the ball away in the closing stage of this first half. You can see the longer the half has gone on, Dungannon appear to be playing with a wee bit more heart. But again, they would need to finish, I think, with a point. Going in 3 points down, considering where they are, wouldn't be a bad position for Dungannon at this stage.
To a certain extent, that also happened against Coal Island when they got into a fairly comfortable lead.
That's right, and the referee...
Yeah, he's going to have a word with...
Yeah, Daniel McDonald is going into the book. Yeah. And they're having Dungannon men, Paul Donaghy and Mark McKerney, deciding what we should do with this free kick. As well within Paul Donaghy's range. He has kicked this before. Kieran Barker is well able to kick it from there.
And I see one of the Trillick players inside receiving attention to Peter. Not sure how that injury was picked up, but struggling back onto his feet is
Stevie O'Donnell.
Stephen O'Donnell. You know, a man you know well.
Yeah. Stevie's a nephew of mine. Was captain last year when Trillick won the championship. He appears to be struggling. Yeah, it's not like him to go down.
He could be coming off.
Yeah, he's going over the sideline there. Doesn't look good.
Kick taken quickly by Donaghy to Walsh. Can he finish? Oh, Walsh will be very, very disappointed with that effort. That was an excellent opportunity for Dungannon to register a score, and that's their 4th wide opening.
Smart play by Paul Donaghy. I don't know what was going on in the Trillick defence because they were caught napping. And again, great scoring opportunity for Dungannon. That's going to begging.
Yeah, well, I'm just watching. Maybe they got ruffled by the fact that Stephen O'Donnell was making his way off and a replacement hadn't come on, so maybe Matthew Walsh was the extra man. I assume it'll be Dara Galler. Yeah, it's Dara Galler who's going to be coming on, and that's a permanent sub now by the looks of things. So Dara Galler, the captain of the side, will play the remaining minutes of this half, and Well, he'll hope, I know, all of the second half as the kick out is taken. We've played the allotted 3 minutes of additional time, but the referee will play another couple minutes, I would expect, because of that injury there to Stephen O'Donnell, who unfortunately has had to leave the field of play. Trillick have possession. They'll lead this 2020 final by 1-4 to 3 points. They'll be looking to finish maybe with another score. Ball is in the hands of James Garda. Garda gives it back to Michael Gallagher. Gallagher back inside to his first cousin. That's Dara Gallagher, son of Iggy, of course. Back inside it goes to Matthew Donnelly. Donnelly flicks the ball forward there to Rory Brennan. Brennan now creating the overlap. There is Ryan Gray. Ryan Gray stretching this Dungannon defence. Ryan Gray's shot is on its way, but it curls to the left hand side and curls wide number 3 for Trillick, and that's probably the last piece of play in this first half.
Yeah, Trillick will be disappointed. A very good scoring opportunity for Ryan Gray. Just pulled it. And 4 points, and it's probably a fair reflection, Ger. I think Trillick are able to create chances much more easier than Dungannon. Dungannon have to work really hard for any of their scoring opportunities. But they'll be disappointed, Dungannon, with some of the wides they've missed. But Trillick, Lee Brennan, superb first 20 minutes. Hasn't had the same effect maybe in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Matty playing well within himself. But he's did that in previous games and had a storming second half. Maybe he's conserving a bit of energy. But look, game's still well set up. We know Dungannon are going to finish very strong. So Collie Holmes and Chris Rafferty will be telling his players, boys, we've been here before, 1 point at a time. We'll claw our way back. We'll have the legs on Trillick. So look, still well set up. Will
Trillick be slightly disappointed they're not further ahead because they have been the dominant team in this game?
Probably. And they had a couple of goal scoring opportunities. They didn't see the final pass, and Dungannon surprisingly with a lot of men back at times, but in terms of looking to their benches, expect to see Kiefer Morgan on here very soon. Kevy Barker has come on to great effect. Patrick Quinn in the full forward in every game that he's come on. So do they play them now? Do they gamble now with these men? Likewise, from a Trillick point of view, Nigel Senior has used young Kieran Daly really well. He has come on and scored in every game. Likewise, have Niall Gormley in reserve. I've no doubt we'll see him on as well. So again, managers, big decisions to make at half time.
Well, half time it is. It's been an entertaining first half here. It has flown by, and we're glad to say that over on the far side, stand side, we have Eugene McConnell, who's with two legends of the game. One from Trillick, that's John Donnelly, and one from Dungannon, that's Jody Kelly. So we go pitch side where Eugene has his guests.
Joining me here at half time here in Healy Park in the LCC Group Senior Championship final here is two names that probably don't need to be introduced. They're iconic figures in their own respective clubs. Respectfully here, Jody Kelly here. Jody, a Dungannon player for a long, up until 94 he played, represented Tyrone in 89 and 90. Top scorer in the Senior Championship in 1986 when you lost to Trillick in the final. And beside us here we have John Donnelly, another iconic figure here. Holder of 5 championship medals, Tyrone senior manager, managed and played with Trillick Reds in those 5 successive campaigns, and we're just going to get an overview from both respective camps here how they saw the first half go. Jody, that first half, it took Dungannon a wee bit of time to get settled in, a few early wides, and a wee bit of nerves crept in there early on.
Yeah, well, we're a very inexperienced team. We all seem to get our hands on the ball in the first few minutes, but missing the first 3 shots at goal is a killer for you. I mean, you get to the water break and you still haven't scored. That could defeat a team in total there and then. But I'm glad to report that 2 things. We have got on the board. We've got everybody up and running. We're very much in the game. And standing on the pitch here, I can feel a noticeable breeze that we'll be playing with in the second half. And here's hoping that we can withstand the Trillick onslaught in the third quarter, and that Paul Donaghy will start to fire over balls, and we'll bring on a couple of subs who'll also score. So we're still optimistic. We're not out of this yet.
Yeah, Dungannon in their previous matches have always been a team that come more and more into the game as it progresses, and no doubt that'll be the story at half time here when the players get regrouped and re-energised and back out for the second half.
Yes, well, we saw 5 or 6 times what a serious outfit this Trillick team are, and you know, they moved the ball so slickly. We got let off with a throw ball, but they then replicated the move 2 minutes later and banged the net. We'd be hoping to withstand that, but we feel that we can retaliate, and if we're still thereabouts, given our record in the last 3 games, I wouldn't write us off just yet.
And moving across here to John Donnelly, a man who has done everything in the GA terms of winning championships and all. You'd be very pleased with that first half performance, John.
Yeah, I'm pleased, and I'm sure the mentors are pleased as well. Malachy is a great analyst, and I'm sure he had done his studies on Dungannon and the way they were going to play. And it's crucial always when you're hot favourites going in that you get a settled start, and that if you at all possible put a bit of pressure on the underdog. And Trillick did that. They got as Jody said, Dungannon had a few chances, didn't take them, and Trillick took a few scores and got the goal, and certainly are up and running. Now, having said that, we all know championship football, there's no cups given at half time, so Trillick has got a decent start, and those of you who have been involved in building houses and things like that know it's great to get the foundations in and get started, and it can look great after a few days, but you could have had a period of bad weather, and you could have a few, the tradesmen mightn't turn up, and there could be a lot of hitches before the house is built. So hopefully Trillick, they've laid the foundation, but they have to build on that.
Yes, John, you just mentioned there about the goal, like it was a blind finish, you know, a great solo runner, really an individual effort there. He gave the ball, solo must have been 20, 30 metres, and then the finish was just exquisite.
Yes, well, I mean, we know Lee is a wonderful score taker, and yes, and I was glad to see him making a really positive run like that, and we all know his striking ability. He's a tremendous striker of the ball, and the goalie just really hadn't a chance. But yes, it was a wonderful goal and a great time to get it.
And just before we finish up here, we just move right across to Jody here. You'll be expecting Paul there, the way that he's been playing, he's been on top form, he's the top scorer so far in the championship. You'll be expecting a lot of him in the second half.
Yeah, well, he is tightly marked, and Trillick are on red alert whenever Paul gets the ball, but there is a fair breeze, and he'll fancy cutting in back onto his right foot and swinging it over from anywhere outside the 45 either. You'll probably see him stepping up to take more frees, but we have other firepower on the bench to come on and help them, and the ball is now sticking with Patrick Malloy, which is a good sign. So look, as John said, we're not out of this yet, and we're still there.
And just before we hand back to Peter and Jared in the studio here, championship football is all about the parish, and in a days like this here with small crowds, it's great that we have the opportunity to allow people all over the world to be able to see these games. John, would you?
It's marvellous. I mean, a number of my own family are some in England. I have a son in Sweden, and they'll all be watching in. And yes, it's a wonderful occasion that the people can see the match, and yeah, I'm delighted for them.
So there we have it, 2 experts here, 2 great stalwarts in the Dungannon and Trillick club, and we're looking eagerly forward to the second half, and it's still anyone's game, and we'll hand it back now to Ger and Peter in the studio. Thanks very much to Jody, and thank you, John, very much for your contribution.
Yes, Eugene, thank you, and great to hear from John Donnelly and Jody Kelly. John content, and Jody putting up a good argument as to why you couldn't write off Dungannon, and I think he is correct about that. So Peter and I are taking a short break, as the players are, and that gives us time for an advertisement break at this juncture. Yeah, well, welcome back here. The fact that we have no dressing rooms, I think, makes a difference in terms of the length of the halftime break, Peter.
Yeah, we're out and at it. Second half, going to say, and the point Jody Kelly made about the breeze, that is significant, and kicking with it. You know, Trillick much more accurate than Dungannon. Dungannon's stats on scoring, you know, conversion from play and from frees very poor in the first half, so they'll be looking to improve that big times.
Yeah, I know you have some stats there in front of you, and we'll get some of them. Maybe we'll pick them up, because Patrick Malloy has won Dungannon a free, so as Paul Donaghy comes over, some stats that get picked up.
Yes, the big stat from a Dungannon point of view was that 5 free kicks, and the conversion rate in the first half was 1 out of those 5. So if they're going to get in out of this game, and it's going to start with this free kick, they've got to start going over the bar.
Well, this is a big kick for Paul Donaghy, but what isn't a big kick in this game? He hasn't registered as yet, and again, it's gone to the right-hand side, and it's gone wide, and well, look, it was a big day for Paul Donaghy. He came in with a lot of talk, and he's kicked that one 3 wides now.
That'll not stop him, in fairness to Paul Donaghy, he's a wonderful attitude, and he'll keep at it. He'll not shy away from it. He'll not lose the responsibility or be afraid to take on the responsibility, but Dungannon need to be more clinical going forward.
Yeah, that's their 5th wide of the game, 4 in the first half, and that one now brings the tally to 5 as Trillick gather possession. This is the LCC Group Tyrone Senior Football Championship final, coming to you live from Healy Park, Omagh, on Tyrone GA TV, in association with our broadcast partners, of course, Todd's Leap. As brilliant play by Mark McKierney. What else would you expect from him in there, battling and tussling and coming out with the ball? He's foraging for every scrap that he can get his hands on for his Dungannon team. Good crossfield ball. Looking here for Jones. Brilliant hand from Jones. Daly Jones, that is. Super take by Daly Jones. And Jones is fouled, and the referee will want to have a word. But Daly Jones and Ryan Jones, they've been excellent in this game, Peter.
Yeah, they're natural ball players. They love getting on the ball. But just before that, we had the battle of the wee men there, Mark McKierney and Jib Donnelly. Mark McKierney coming out on top this time. What a fantastic player he is, and the amount of turnovers that he's involved in. But we talked about Paul Donaghy's confidence. It was him to give that cross field pass. Not every player, after missing a few frees, would do that. The dilemma facing him now is that he has a kick, I would say, 50 metres out. He's tempted to hit this with the outside of his boot jar, because he scored a number of these against Arboe. He knows he's got the breeze behind him. Is he going to have a go at it?
He certainly is. As you said, he's not lacking confidence. This is on its way. It looks good. It is good. What a score. As you alluded to, the man doesn't lack confidence, and when you've got quality, why not utilise it?
Well, that should be a big lift to him and to Dungannon. They've started the second half in a really positive manner, and they've got to start winning. Trillick won 7 out of 7 in terms of their own kickouts in the first half. So Dungannon will want to address that and start really putting pressure on the Trillick kick-out.
Trillick kick-out is on its way. Break ball won by Dungannon. Through the middle comes Sean Malloy. He has droves of the green and gold alongside him. Can he utilise them? Lays it off there to Donny. He got one from a free. Now he's got one from play over the bar. It sails. Paul Donaghy has started the revival maybe for Dungannon. 2 quick points in the space of a minute.
But the difference of winning the opposition's kickouts, that's the first one they've won all day, Ger, and they were able to run straight through the middle. Trillick didn't have time to get a sweeper back. Sean Malloy, great decision making, knew that the score taker Supreme was beside him, and Paul Donaghy made the right decision, give it to him, and Dungannon very much back on track.
2-point game, up the go for it again. Break ball won again by Dungannon. Here they come. This has been a terrific start to the second half for them, and who was in there winning it but Ryan Jones, one of the small men again. I've been really impressed by Ryan and Daly Jones in this game. Despite a difficult first half, they were everywhere and trying to win ball, trying to link the play. As the referee now wants to have a word with one of the Trillick players, I think it's Rory Brennan, for an indiscretion.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure what was said to the Dungannon boys at half time, but they've come out revved up and determined to turn over Trillick's kickouts, and if they can manage to do that, especially with this breeze behind them, and put pressure on Trillick's Ryan Kelly, they'll give themselves a really good base in the second half.
and Rory Brennan. So the two wing half backs for the Trillick team, Michael Goller and Rory Brennan, have both picked up yellow cards in the early stages of this second half. Ball fed in, a lot of Trillick players round there, and well gathered and well watched on this occasion by the aforementioned Michael Goller. He's a terrific young player, is Michael Goller.
Yeah, very clever footballer. His positioning and reading of the game, very good, never gives the ball away. So Dungannon have put it up to Trillick, and let's see what sort of a response Trillick come up with.
Well, sit back and relax and enjoy the ride here on Tyrone GA TV. This should be a pulsating second half as Peter Canavan and I bring you the commentary from high up here in the tower. Looking out, and down below us is Matthew Donnelly holding his head because he picked up a little knock. Lee Brennan takes the free, elects to go short with it. Back it goes to Goller, back to Brennan. Brennan now 45 metres out, flicks it inside to Garrity. Garrity goes to ground, didn't give a good ball out, and back there, who else winning the possession is Daly Jones, and he gives it to McKerney. McKerney twists and turns, gives it to Walsh. Walsh feeds it inside there now to Kieran Barker. Barker spreads the play. This is better, confident play by the men from Dungannon. Oran Mallon, a strong, purposeful runner, comes forward. Referee a little bit harsh, I would have thought, Peter. Maybe
more than a little bit harsh.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't think he did overcarry the ball. He's waiting on the support player, and Dungannon would have been in a very good position moving forward. So maybe Trillick gets a break. I think he was maybe thinking of the free he didn't give Simon Garrity down here, maybe, and that's why he gave Trillick a handy free there.
Yeah, I would agree with that. This is Dara Goller, the captain of the side. Gives it inside now to Rory Brennan, the man who loves to come forward, and he has terrific pace, and he's showing that pace. He has a man off the shoulder. It's Donnelly inside it, or to Daniel McDonald. Back it goes to Brennan, back inside to the Dara Goller, and back deep there, winning the ball again. None other than Mark McKerney. He goes through some amount of work, Peter.
Again, his reading of the game and his distribution, superb. Really good start to the second half from Mark. Great move by Trillick, but again, the Dungannon defence crowded the man on the ball, forced the turnover, and it's Ryan Jones now on the attack. Yeah,
and the brother beside him, but he elects to give it long. Can he get up and take the mark? No, it's gone over the head of Patrick Malloy and into the safe hands of the goalkeeper, the man who is a barber, of course. That's Ryan Kelly in his debut season for Trillick St McCartans. What a year it will be to make your debut and to win an O'Neill Cup and do back-to-back for the first time since Carrickmore done it in 04-05. And speaking of Carrickmore, they would have been the team that would have been out here today on the 25-year anniversary of them winning the championship, but they're not here today as Lee Brennan wins the ball and wins it out in front and wins the free, and this will suit Trillick down to the ground as Lee Brennan will be afforded the opportunity to kick this one left-footed. Mark Loughran, the linesman down below us, making indications as to where it should be taken from as Kieran Daly enters the field of play, and he's only 17 years of age.
Yes, and for such a young lad, he's made a big impact every single time that he's come onto the championship this year. Jerry finds himself in brilliant positions on the right hand side of the pitch moving forward, and he's well able to kick a point or two, and he has done that in every match so far. So again, something for Dungannon to think about from a defensive point of view.
So a 35-year-old leaves the field of play and a 17-year-old comes on, and that is, as I said there, that's young Kieran Daly, and he scored 3 points in the championship to date, and a man now who has scored 1-3 today, that's Lee Brennan, pops that one over the bar, and that's
he made that look easy, and that was far from it. Dungannon missed a couple of free kicks from that position in the first half. He was kicking again the breeze, and the breeze has picked up here in the second half, but once again, what a player. And for Trillick to have somebody like that who can kick dead balls over from virtually anywhere is a massive asset to have.
Yeah, and I don't want to be too harsh on Dungannon at this juncture, but if they had the accuracy from frees that Trillick have had in this game, it would certainly be closer than the 3 points that separates the sides at the moment, 1-5. We've played 8.5 minutes here of the second half as Jones comes forward again. Daly Jones, good ball inside, options left and right, but that's Donaghy going to kick it with the left, but a great block on that occasion as the ball is now fed back. Keeping the attack going is Colin Devlin. Devlin. The ball goes to ground. Picked up there by Donaghy for, or in fact it's number 19 there, Patrick Quinn, who's on the field of play. We didn't get notice of that, but Quinn's on, and that's not a surprise. Man who scored 1-7 in the championship to date on the field of play. So all the reinforcements are coming off the bench to help Dungannon in their bid to win their first ever championship since 1956, 64 years ago. Of course, they've won it 10 times. From 1908-09 was the first year they won it. The last time, as I say, they beat Clonaux in the 1956 final. That's 64 years ago. They're looking to get victory here today in Healy Park as Donaghy comes forward with it. Good ball inside, treads it inside. Excellent take and well held on that occasion. And over the bar it goes, that man Quinn. He's only on the field to play a matter of moments, and he's kicked the point over the bar. 1-8 in the championship to date.
Yeah, I think he's replaced Paddy Malloy, Ger, but every game again, Paddy Quinn has come on. He's made a difference. He makes great runs off the ball. He gets his hands on it, and he's not afraid to shoot. So what a start for him coming on after 2 or 3 minutes to keep Dungannon very much in this game.
Yeah, it certainly is in the melting pot here in Healy Park. Just 2 points between the sides. Break ball again. Who has won it? The ball has been touched on the ground. No. Referee says that it's a free to Dungannon. Fed forward towards Jones. Jones, good hand in by Michael Goller, and Goller makes sure that ball goes out over the end line.
Brilliant break ball by Lorcan Mallon over at the far side, and that's the third kick out. Trillick kick out that Dungannon have won.
Ball fed in again, picked up by Quinn. Brilliant by Quinn. Back inside goes to Jones. Jones been closed down by a number of players. Ryan Jones, that is. Ball on the ground, but it's rescued there by Goller. Back deep in defence for the Trillick men, and coming out with it now is Liam Gray. Liam Gray, 20 years of age, feeds it forward. Well held by Matty Donnelly. Donnelly does well. Takes on another Matthew. Of course, that is Matthew Walsh. Matty Donnelly feeds it inside. Brilliant ball. Will it bounce over the head? It does, of Lee Brennan, and the ball goes into the safe hands of the goalkeeper. And the goalkeeper is the 26-year-old Dara Martin. He won an Ulster Minor medal in 2012 for Tyrone. He done well on that occasion, watched it all the way, and Dungannon get the free, and the referee's not happy where the free has been taken from, so the free will be taken. There's another change over on the far side of the field. I see number 18, Kiefer Morgan. We were expecting him on as well. He scored 1-2 in the championship to date, and he will replace number 13, that's Lorcan Mallon. So those are the expected changes, Quinn and Morgan, and they will add something to this forward division.
And right away Kiefer Morgan goes into the full forward line, so he's going to feed off Paddy Quinn. They've worked very well together in recent games, so with the slight wind advantage that they have, Dungannon would want to be getting the ball in a bit earlier to these boys inside.
So the dice has been rolled by Chris Rafferty from the Dungannon management point of view. They have put on the big goal, the scorers, Kiefer Morgan and Patrick Quinn. They're in possession of the football over there with Mallon. Mallon slips it inside, not a good ball, but rescued on that occasion by Dylan O'Hagan. O'Hagan lays it back out there to Sean Malloy. Malloy feeds it inside again. Back it goes one more time there to Kiefer Morgan. He's only on the field of play. Can he do what Quinn done? The answer is no. It's gone to the left hand side and it's gone wide, and that brings the tally of wides to 6.
Great approach play once more by Dungannon. Kiefer only on the field already at 2 possessions, entitled to go for that shot. Would have been a great score to bring the game back to a 1-point game. Trillick electing not to kick it out. They've lost every kick out. They've bombed straight out the middle, so wisely deciding to use the wing, hit it short.
Richard Donnelly's the man in possession. Yeah, brilliant ball into space. What a ball, and what a run by Gavin McCarron. He got a point in the first half. Can he get a second one? Gardy makes the move for him, but great tackling again. Brilliant tackling, it has to be said, by Ryan Jones. Where these Jones lads get the energy, I do not know. Ryan and Daly, they're all over the place. So too is Mark McKerney. Coming forward now with the ball is Kieran Barker. Barker over the far side to Donaghy. Donaghy looks up, surveys his options, goes long and direct. Inside it goes, watched all the way. It could be a goal. It is a goal! It's a goal from Patrick Quinn. He's only on the field of play. I talked about the game being in the melting pot. It's more than in the melting pot now at this stage, Peter.
And what a ball by Paul Donaghy. We talked about them needing to get the ball in when you have good target men inside. Rory Kelly managed to get a touch about it. Hindsight, if he had to let it go, maybe his keeper would have got it, but the touch that he made to it actually played into Paddy Quinn's hands. Paddy blasts it to the net, and Dungannon now in the lead. Unbelievable
scenes over in the stand. We might only have 200 or 300 Dungannon people in the stand, but they're in dreamland wherever you are all over the world. supporting Dungannon Clarks. You're in dreamland because your team are leading the 2020 final, and it's that man that was the substitute, Patrick Quinn, who's only on the field a matter of moments, has scored 1-1. Here comes Mallon. He fancies his chances. Brilliant from Mallon. Can he finish? The answer is no. Brilliant block by Liam Gray. Super block by Gray, but there will be a 45 and Kieran Barker will fancy this one. What a game.
Dungannon really on their game now. Owen Mallon is starting to come into it. He's a great engine, like his uncle Brennan, who I played with back in 1995 with Tyrone. He'll run all day, did Brandy, and Owen takes that from his repertoire, no doubt. And Dungannon are the team with all the energy at the minute. But Ger, these kick-outs out the middle for Trillick, I'm sure Nigel Seeney will tell his goalkeeper Ryan Kelly, we can't kick any more straight out the middle. Dungannon have won every single one, and as a result of winning that last kick-out, they now have this opportunity. And again, Kieran Barker strikes the ball very well. He's got slight wind advantage behind him. You'd expect him to tap it over the bar.
Well, big kick again for Kieran Barker. Remember, after 13 minutes, Trillick led 1-2 to no score. We're now 13 minutes into the second half, and it's 1-6 to 1-5. Is it going to be 1-7 to 1-5? It is. We should never have doubted him. Kieran Barker, 4 points in the championship today. Make that 5. Brilliant score by Barker. Dungannon have scored 1 goal and 4 points in the second half, and Trillick have only hit 1 point from a free.
Yeah, and I guess they're going to have to bring Matty playing at the edge of the day at the minute. They probably need him around the middle to secure possession here. It's been the guns really put the Trillick's head here, and the county champions, we're going to have to see a response from them.
Well, Daniel MacDonald is coming off the field of play. He is replaced by number 20, and that is Damien Kelly, the 35-year-old banker, comes onto the field of play. He's a man that was also struggling with injury, but he played last week the full game against, I believe it was Galbally, and he's declared fit, and he's on now for the last 15 minutes or so of this final. His side trail 1-7 to 1-5, up the go, break ball, so critical, won on this occasion by Gavin McCarn. It's one thing that Trillick won't do is panic. They don't do panic, they'll just play the way that they have played over the last number of years, and they know that that has been good enough on numerous occasions, and they'll hope that it's good enough today. As Matty Donnelly, the leader of the pack, Matty Donnelly strides inside, looks about who the option is. The option there is Kieran Daly. Daly lays it back there one more time to Lee Brennan. Brennan has an opportunity from play. Is it curling? Is it curling? Is it curling? No, it's gone to the left hand side and gone wide, and with that, Peter Canavan, we have the water break, and what a 2020 final we have on our hands.
And what a response from Dungannon. Didn't look good for them at half time. They regrouped. Don't know what was said to them, but they came out all guns blazing, and now that they've really put it up to Trillick. They were Dungannon by far the better team in the opening 15 minutes of the second half. So look, again, really well set up. Don't be surprised to see this one going extra time again, Ger. That's the way Dungannon like to win their games.
Well, I'm going to keep the voice a little lower if that's going to happen, but I'm going to look through here some of the messages. Give a shout out to the Boyles watching from Redford. Kieran, Sean, Connor and Bernard Boyle, that is. Give a shout out to Connor and Killam on their 10th anniversary today. Alton Thomas Blee, a man we both know well, watching all the way from Toronto, but fellow Tyrone man Sean Hart, and what a man Sean Hart is from the Loch McCrory Club, the current Canadian chair. And of course, well, I'll not read the last line of that. Finton Coney, shout out to Connor watching the match in Carmel Street up the Clarks. Connor McStravick, I think it is, shout out to Mickey Tague. HK Jockster watching from the Sleeve Russell up the Clarks. Emer Burns and Ryan cheering on the Clarks, and our cousin Colin Corrigan from Toronto. And shout out finally to Owen Talley watching the game from the Holy Lands. We'll try and pick up a few more of those in a moment, but there's a free over there to the men from Dungannon. Clark Sabu from Victoria McQuaid and family watching in Dublin. Somebody else cheering on the Clarks in the USA. As we follow the play over on the far side, the ball is in the hands there of Mark McKierney. What a game he's had. Slips it inside now to Matthew Walsh. Walsh gathers possession, his side lead 1-7 to 5. Walsh takes on his man, gets round him quite comfortably, 45 metres out. Kieran Barker, the man who got the last score, that was from a 45, lays it back there now into the hands of Kiefer Morgan, the 28-year-old. Morgan to McKierney. McKierney jinks inside his man. McKierney gives it back one more time to Kieran Barker. No urgency about Dungannon at this stage of the game because they lead by 2 points. They can be comfortable. They don't have to force the game. Ball in the hands of David Walsh, the full-back. Lays it off one more time. Coming forward is Malloy or in fact it's Kiefer Morgan. Morgan gets the shot away. The crowd like it. Oh, it comes off the upright. And who's to say games don't turn on small moments and pivotal moments such as that. They are off the upright from Kiefer Morgan, and Dara Galler gets the Trillick man going again. Trillick 8 times champions, county champions, first time in 37, last time in last year against Errigal in 2019, winning that one 12 points to 2-4. They've got themselves a free over there on the far side of the field, but the linesman not happy and the referee not happy at where it's going to be taken from, so it's retaken and it's into the hands of Kieran Daly. Daly back inside, it comes down to Matty Donnelly, back to Daly. Daly 45 metres out, still going. Oh, brilliant ball by Daly, super ball, opportunity for a goal, in he goes, and off the post again. The Gardaí touch on the ground, referee says no. The ball back to Brennan. Brennan lays it back out, but what an opportunity, and it hit the post. I talked about hitting the upright at one end of the pitch and then hitting the post up here.
Well, from a forward point of view, he did everything right, coming in from a tight angle, hit it low and hard. And we talk about pieces of luck at the other end. It was a great effort by Kiefer Morgan, hit the post, came out. From Trillick's point of view, it hit the post and it's come out to a Trillick man. They've got a free in, and this is a massive score because Trillick really need a response at this stage. Could have been a goal, but they'll be happy that it's now a 1 point game.
Yeah, 1 point game. As that man again, Lee Brennan, he scored 1-4 in this game. I see a substitute coming on the far side. It's Niall Gormley. Niall Gormley, what a stalwart, 37 years of age. He replaces number 15, that's Simon Gardaí. Also coming on there is number 17 is Kevin Barker, and Barker I think is replacing Malloy, is it, that's gone off? So wholesale changes.
Yeah, and the players that we expected to be on the pitch for the closing stages are all on it. Kevin Barker, Paddy Quinn, Kiefer Morgan, likewise Kieran Daly, and Niall Gormley, very experienced, very crafty inside player, good for a score. Ger, I'll be surprised if he doesn't manage to contribute to the scoreboard, but a massive 9 minutes left here plus injury time in a really enthralling county final.
Yeah, Sean Malloy makes his way off. He limps off earlier in the game. Of course, Stephen O'Donnell from Trillick limped off as Dungannon win the ball. Paul Donny, route one, in looking for Quinn. Quinn, it bounces over the head. Oh, brilliant play again by Galler. Super play by Michael Galler. He is one for the future, there's no doubt about it. He's also one for the present for Trillick as the ball is picked up there now by Kieran Daly. Daly comes forward in towards Matty Donnelly. Matty hasn't scored the day. Can he change that stat? Matty Donnelly, great battle there with Matthew Walsh. The two Matthews. Back it goes to the man who started the move, Michael Galler. Galler back to Donnelly. Back to Galler again. Galler fancies it, does he? Lays it off for the cousin. The cousin's Dara still has it. Lays it back. This is brilliant. Shot goes in. Blocked. Will it be a 45? It will be a 45. But that just shows brilliant, you the calmness of the Trillick side. They just keep playing, Peter.
But Jared, what a 50-50 ball won here by young Michael Galler. We're raving about how well Mark McKierney, how brave Ryan Jones is. But again, another example of players putting their body in the line. He could easily have went for that with one hand. He went bravely, one possession for Trillick, set up the attack. And now, again, this is not a straightforward kick. This is a difficult kick for Lee Brennan. I don't think he's missed any, Ger, from free kicks.
No, this has been a pulsating final, just a point between the sides. What a championship it's been. 14 matches in the Tyrone Senior Football Championship this year. 35 goals and 372 points. 4 games went to extra time. 3 involving Dungannon, 1 involving Trillick. Will this one go to extra time? The sides are level. The sides are level. It could go to extra time. Lee Brennan, what a day he's having. He has brought his tally to 1 goal and 5 points. Super play from Lee Brennan.
Yeah, and if Trillick get over the line, that has been the difference, how clinical they have been, and Lee from free kicks. But game perfectly poised, 7 minutes to go, nothing separates them.
This is brilliant. This is super. This is the Tyrone Senior Football Championship final of 2020. You're watching here on Tyrone GA TV as Rory Brennan comes striding forward. Brennan still in possession. He has Gray alongside him. Slips it inside to Gormley. Gormley thought about it. Slipped it back to Daly. Daly takes a shot and Trillick have responded with 3 points on the bounce. Kieran Daly, the 17-year-old, wearing number 17, pops up as he has done in every game so far with a point, and now Trillick
what a difference
he
he's made to the game. Again, Dungannon maybe thinking that he's not going to have a young fella, not going to have a big impact. He's been brilliant, Kieran Daly, since he's come onto the game.
What a take in the middle of the field by Donaghy. Donaghy's fouled, says the referee. Our referee is Shane Meehan. He's done an excellent job here in this game so far. Trillick have turned round a deficit of 2 points, 1-7 to 1-5. They trailed in the 15th minute. They've scored the last 3 points. Lee Brennan with 2 and Kieran Daly with 1. Ball is in the hands of the Dungannon men. They have to come back again. Brilliant by McNulty. Brilliant by McNulty. Can he finish? The answer is no. It's gone to the left, but just grazed the left-hand post and gone wide.
Great effort by Paddy McNulty, and in fairness, very similar to the Errigal game. The longer the game went on, he really came into it, and he's starting to do that. He's picking up Richie Donnelly in the middle of the pitch.
Well, we look at the watch. The watch says we have 24 minutes and 31 seconds in this game played. The kick out has been worked very, very well again by Ryan Kelly. You advised that they can't kick it to the middle. That's what they done on that occasion, kept it out wide, and it was picked up there by Richie Donnelly. But turnover yet again. Winning the ball there for Dungannon is Mark McKerney. Wherever you are in the world, we hope you're enjoying this broadcast. This is brilliant stuff as Malin comes through, but then goes Daly again. What an interception by Kieran Daly. Lays it off to Lee Brennan. Brennan has a man inside, but Brennan might fancy his chances. Gives it inside. Not a good ball on that occasion. He looked for Gormley, but it wasn't a good ball by Lee Brennan. It's probably the first thing he's done wrong in this entire game. He's had a stormer. He's kicked 1-5 out of the 1-8 that his team have got. This man has also had a stormer. His name is Daly Jones. Daly Jones, a grandson of the great Iggy Jones, who played in 1956, gives it back inside there and picked up by Matthew Walsh. Walsh, one of the two brothers on the Walsh brothers on the side. David's the fullback. Walsh is picking up Matty Donnelly throughout this game. The brother has it over on the far side of the field. Dungannon come again. They trail by a point. They have 5 minutes to rescue. The ball fed in. Where will it break? It'll break into the hands of a Trillick man. That's a sliding tackle. Will the referee allow the play to go on? He will. Not a good ball inside. In the go for it. Brilliant stuff. Picked up by Matty Donnelly. Wonderful play by Donnelly. Who's back there picking it up with Daly? Brilliant from Daly. He's only 17 years of age. He's playing like a 27 or a 37-year-old. Ball goes inside. Not a good ball by Matty Donnelly, but Daly retrieves the situation. Gives it to McCarran. McCarran gives it back. Brilliant tackling. Brilliant tussling by both sides. This is super
and
stuff.
It's so uncharacteristic from a Trillick. It's nail-biting stuff. But Trillick are giving the ball away cheap, and that's something that you're not accustomed with this Trillick side. But great fighting spread shown by Dungannon in the closing stages.
Nail biting stuff. I think that was Nigel Seeney's wife there that we got a quick glimpse of. She was biting her nails. I'd say there'll be none left by the time the 70 minutes are played here in Healy Park.
And Rory Brennan, he has really come into the game strong from a Trillick point of view. Surging runs, be it down the middle, over at the far side, winning a really important free. And I think Nigel Seeney will be telling his players, we can't afford to give the ball away. They have a chance here to see the game out. And
yellow card for Paul Donaghy. Yep. His Nigel Seeney's team lead by 1 point, 1-8 to 1-7, but more importantly, they have possession of the football, and the man that's in possession is the man who's on fire, Lee Brennan. He'll try to take it on the loop. He gets it on the loop. Still going, Brennan. Fancies his chances. Threads a good ball inside to Gormley. Gormley, good defensive play again. Brilliant defensive play on that occasion by Conal Devlin, the dual star. He's only 19 years of age, and he's in his debut season. That was wonderful stuff. Here come Dungannon. They need a score to rescue this game. It's in the hands of David Walsh. Walsh striding forward. Here he comes, gives it inside to Kiefer Morgan. Morgan takes on his man. He can get it on the left. He can get the shot away. Oh, he's dropped it short. He's dropped it short. Agony for Dungannon. Agony for Dungannon as that one dropped short. And here come Trillick. Trillick to try and add another point to their tally. The ball is in the hands of Gavin McCarran. The lead by 1. The watch says we have 2.5 minutes left to play. The ball is in the hands of Michael Goller. The very safe hands, I would suggest. Fed forward there to Daly. Kieran Daly, son of the selector, of course, Conor Daly, great Carrickmore man in his time. The ball in the hands of Ryan Gray. Gray feeds it in, looking for Gormley. This has been a brilliant battle inside. Gormley gets to the second attempt, gets the shot away. Gormley's shot is over the bar. Gormley's shot is over the bar. That's a wonderful score from the 37-year-old Niall Goller. He was an All-Ireland minor winner in 2001 and he was in your panel in 2005. What a player.
Always good, Niall Gormley, always good for a scoring opportunity. Such a difficult angle. Conall Devlin had won the 2 previous balls that was played in just before him with brilliant tackling, but that didn't deter Niall from having a shot. It's now a 2-point advantage, but Ger, I still wouldn't rule out Dungannon. They're going to come back here, they're going to finish the game well, and just over a minute left in full time, but there will be at least 3 or 4 minutes of injury time, I'm certain.
Yeah, and Trillick are happy to concede the kick out, and it gets Dungannon motoring again in the shape of Devlin. They need 2 points to rescue this game, to bring it to extra time, but this has never been a problem for them before. But will it be a problem in a county final against Trillick? It may well be, as that ball is fed in there by Donaghy, but back with using all his experience as the county captain, Matty Donnelly. Daly brings it into trouble. Referee says he carried it too far, and
that man again, Mark McKierney,
yeah,
he's pushing up, realising that they have to put the pressure on Trillick. What a fantastic turnover. And once again, many times have we said this is a massive kick for young Kieran Barker, but if Dungannon are going to get anything out of this game, this has to go over the bar.
Yeah, this has to go over the bar. Of course, he scored that magnificent point to beat Errigal in the last round. Can he now bring it down to just a point? I see the board going up over on the far side of the field. It indicates there'll be 4 minutes of additional time. This must go over from Kieran Barker. Barker's shot is on its way. The umpires look at it. The umpires like it. Kieran Barker with his second narrows the gap to just a point.
And Dungannon really pushing up, aggressive now on the kick out. Again, I said to you earlier, Jet, extra time. The way this championship has gone this year in Tyrone, final probably deserves a period of extra time.
Well, this is just pulsating stuff. Wherever you are in the world, if you're a Dungannon fan, you are praying and praying and praying that this equaliser comes. If you're from Trillick, well, you're hoping that your side can hold on to this 1 point advantage. Break ball, who'll win it? Won there by Richie Donnelly. Who else would you want to win it but the experienced Richie Donnelly? Looks for the brother but feeds it out instead to Ryan Gray. The brother's on the overlap, but brilliant by Matty Walsh. Walsh has turned it over yet again. These Dungannon men just don't know when they're down. They just never give up. It's unbelievable.
Fantastic play, Matthew Walsh. Great heart. Matty Donnelly had got his hands on that ball. Certain point for Trillick. Matty's down now with cramp, but fantastic tackling, chasing back. Great heart shown by Dungannon in the closing stages.
Kevin Barker's the man with the football. He gives it there to Mark McKierney. McKierney will give it back to Barker. Barker brings it into a bit of trouble. Gray gets the hand in and dislodges the ball, but there's a free there now, and the free will be taken by Padraig McNulty. We look at the watch. It says 31 minutes and 13 seconds played. That means we've just under 3 minutes. 3 minutes for Dungannon to get an equaliser. Here we go with Kieran Barker. Barker gives it back to Donaghy. Donaghy, we look at Trillick. They've one player not behind the ball, and that's Niall Gormley. The ball now in the hands of the Dungannon men. Over it comes to Mark McKierney. McKierney holds the ball up, gives it to Donaghy. Donaghy slips it inside to Walsh. Back to Donaghy. Donaghy thought about the left foot shot. He's 47 metres out. Gives it to McKierney. McKierney over here now. The ball is in the hands there of Kevin Barker. Barker back it goes to Kiefer Morgan. Morgan's shot is on his way. The umpires consult. Has it gone over? It has. Unbelievable score by Kiefer Morgan.
And what battle for a man that had missed 2 kicks earlier. That probably his most difficult. Didn't shy away from the responsibility either. And again, brilliant heart by Dungannon. This kick out really crucial. Dungannon pushing up on the wings, trying to force the Trillick keeper to kick it straight out the middle.
That is just a sensational score by Kiefer Morgan. Come at the hour, come at the man. The 28-year-old went for it from 40 metres out, and now Dungannon have the opportunity maybe to push on. They'll think about winning this game. We have 31 minute and a half left. The ball is in the hands of Mark McKierney. He touched the ball 4 times in the opening minute.
And their choice now is, do they really go for it, or are they content with just holding on possession and seeing the clock? They have to be patient. Trillick, a lot of bodies behind the ball. Dungannon will never get a better opportunity.
The perfect scenario is to hold it up for another 40 seconds or so and then go for it. But that's something that wouldn't be in the coaching manual, I would suggest, as the ball is held up now by Kevin Barker. Barker has Walsh. Walsh, 65 metres out, gives it inside. Back to Walsh. It's opening up for him. Will he go for it? Slips it off to Barker, will he? Yes, gives it to Barker. Barker going forward. No fouls can be conceded. Ball is in the hands now of Daly Jones. This to win it. Jones gives it back to Donaghy. Wouldn't it be fitting if he would notch one? Well, Trillick supporters mightn't agree with that there. Ball is in the hands now of Daly Jones. Jones gives it back to Morgan. Morgan got the point a moment ago. This is good by Dungannon. They're working it into space. Still the opportunity is there. Over the far side of the field it goes. Kieran Barker. Kieran Barker feeds it back out. We have 30 seconds left in this game. 30 seconds between Dungannon and Trillick to win the 2020 final. Dungannon have the opportunity. They're working it across the field. They're going to run out of time. They only have 12-15 seconds left. It's with McKierney. This is unbelievable. The tenseness. If you're from Dungannon or Trillick, I don't know how you're sticking it. I'm finding it hard myself. Here we go. Matthew Walsh feeds it in. Good ball inside. Oh, it stopped. It's left behind. Referee looks at it. He's blowing it. He has blown it. It's all over.
A game of inches. If Paddy Quinn had caught that ball, he was entitled to a mark. He wouldn't have missed. Dungannon literally inches away from winning their first county title in 64 years. Brilliant game, enthralling stuff. And again, everybody, supporters all up on their feet applauding both sets of players who have given absolutely everything for their club.
How does this Dungannon team do it? They've done 3 games, an epic trilogy of games that got them to this final. All of them went to extra time, and this one is going to extra time as well. And look at Peter. I don't know how you start with this game. It's just been absolutely pulsating, and neither team, it's fair to say, they deserve another go at it on another day even, never mind extra time.
Yeah, I think look, a draw is a fair result because the way the two teams went at it, both will feel that they had opportunities to take it. Trillick will be so disappointed that they coughed up possession so easily on occasions, but they would have been well worn. Nigel Senior would have spoken about Dungannon finishing the game really strong, and that's exactly what has happened. Even after they got level, they weren't content with that. They won the next kick out, and they really went for it. So fantastic entertainment, and look, really looking forward to this. Let me get the lights on here, Noma.
Let me get the lights on, and I'm going to get the throat lozenges, because that has been a fantastic hour of football, and we're going to have more. And I think at this juncture, Peter, you and I will need a slight break, so maybe we will revert to some advertisements at this juncture. So with the final score reading a goal and 9 points to Trillick, a goal and 9 to Dungannon, we will take an advertisement break here in Healy Park. Yeah, and welcome back here to Healy Park. As you can see, both well, maybe not see at the moment, both sides are one Trillick to our left as we look out from our commentary spot. Nigel Sini in there giving the instructions, and to our right are the Dungannon team and Chris Rafferty in there. And Peter, I mean, Chris, both sides, both managers have been through this previously, so I mean, it's not new for them.
Yeah, that's right. And Dungannon for certain, every game they've played has gone this way. So Collie Holmes and Chris Rafferty will be telling boys, we've been here before, and every game that they have played, they've finished the second period of extra time really strong. What they can't afford to do is let Trillick off to a good start again. So I would say Dungannon camp over there, their body language is good. You can see them jizzing one another up, and among that, Trillick looking a bit lifeless, and the same could have been said for Errigal and Dungannon. And after full time, there was a difference in the two camps. So Dungannon players in front of their own support, they'll feel confident. Trillick will be looking to their key players. Paddy McNulty has come into the game really strong from a Dungannon point of view. Matty Walsh bombing forward as well. So look,
rousing reception in the stand.
Look, and they've been here before. So again, Trillick, we need an answer from them. Lee has got to get on the ball again. He was quiet enough. His free kicks supreme, but every time he gets on the ball, things look like happening. Niall Gormley has come on to good effect. Kieran Daly has come on to good effect. Dungannon, we need to put a plan in place for him. But the goal came from a long ball in, Ger, and I felt maybe Dungannon didn't do that enough. After that, Paddy Quinn was in there. He's got serious height advantage over Rory Kelly. And with Paul Donaghy going in there as well, it would give them further height advantage. So if it was well set up before the game, it's even better now as the referee calls both captains in to take the toss. Yeah,
both captains taking the toss down there, Paddy McNulty and Dara Galler. Just a quick shout out to a couple of people that have contacted us here on Twitter. Mickey Smith, Clark Sabu from Victoria McQuaid and the family watching in Dublin. Scrooge Donny cheering on the Clarks across the pond in Pittsburgh, USA at Clark Sabu. Big shout out to Mickey McStay in Rallenstown. Keelan Lloyd watching here from the Cunningham House in Carla, Emer, Anya, Amy, Jaden, Cal, Sean and Keelan all watching there. Shout out to Maisie Boyle. Shout out to Maddie McKee taking a break from uni work, watching from Boston. Watching from Rockland, GA, New York. Emmett Woods, a couple of others coming here, Alton Thomas Blee, Patrick Mullen, Patsy Marie, Kevin and Patrick Ogmallen missing Dungannon and cheering on the Clarks in San Francisco. Also Sean Hart, that's a message. Sean Hart says at this time of the day, I'm not sure what that one's about. Different messages coming in here. Justin McQuaid watching from Sydney. Well, we'll go back to the game.
The matchups, Ger. Matty Walsh once again is sticking tight to Matty Donnelly as Matty goes into the full forward line, and I see Rory Brennan appears to be marking Paul Donaghy at the edge of the D. Well,
sit back and relax and enjoy this extra 20 minutes of this 2020 championship final here, the LCC Group Tyrone Senior Football Championship final between Trillick and Dungannon. 10 minutes either way as Trillick win the throw-in and have possession. Ball in the hands of Ryan Gray. Gray spreads the play over here to Richie Donnelly. The lights are starting to come on in Healy Park. The sun, thankfully from our perspective, drops behind the clouds. Ball fed in, looking for Gormley. Gormley does well. Brilliant from Gormley. Been closed down, however, but the referee has awarded the free. Free in there to Niall Gormley. He showed his experience. He scored a brilliant point, of course, in normal time, but done well and won the free. And it's one now that Lee Brennan will fancy his chances with, dead straight in front of the goal. Has scored 1-5 to date. Of course, he got the first point of the game 4 minutes in, and Lee Brennan has popped it over the bar. So the lead 110 to 1-9, Peter.
Yeah, Dungannon giving out about that free kick, but and again Trillick have turned over. They won the throw up and they've won the first kick out in the second half. So Trillick getting off to a good start.
Yeah, Coming forward now over on the far side of the field is Ryan Gray. Gray in possession. Trillick lead by a point, 110 to 19. Ball fed out there to Lee Brennan. Lee Brennan back inside, it goes to Daly. Daly wearing 17 years of age, kicks it, it's on its way, it's gone over the bar. Super score from Kieran Daly, and what an impact this young man has had on this championship. That's his second point here this afternoon, and that means that he has stretched the Trillick men's lead out to 2 points. Super score again by Kieran Daly.
Again, a one player that Dungannon can't afford to leave free, because he's more than capable of doing that. Breaking ball in the middle, who's going to get it?
I think it's the Dungannon man that has it on this occasion. Indeed it is. Kevin Barker is the man who wins it for Dungannon. Mark McKierney takes the free for the Dungannon men to Daly Jones. Jones feeds it inside. 1-on-1 in there with Quinn and Rory Kelly. What a battle this is. Quinn does well, wins it. Kelly sticks to him like glue, but he sticks too closely to him, says the referee, and the free goes the way of Dungannon. So if Gormley got a free down there,
yeah, I think
Quinn
that's fair
was
enough.
entitled
Yeah,
to it.
fair enough. And again, a tactic that Dungannon should think about doing more often is getting the ball in on top of Paddy Quinn. He's such a big, strong player, great hands, uses his strength to great effect.
Kiefer Morgan, the man
Kiefer
who
should tap this over.
Yeah, the man who levelled the game with that magnificent point in the 32nd minute to bring it to this extra time, has kicked the ball over the bar from a free, and just a point between the sides. And look at Peter, we don't see there being much more than that in it when we get to the final whistle.
Absolutely, and Dungannon have been behind in every period of extra time that they've played, so again they're well accustomed to being in this position.
3 minutes of extra time played here in Healy Park. The goalkeeper is Ryan Kelly. He knew what he was doing, but a lot of the Trillick fans maybe were sitting on the edge of their seats when he twisted and turned, but he knew exactly, he was in control of the situation. Gives it inside now to Kieran Daly, popping up all over the place.
Dungannon doing what they did again, Errigal. There's no sweeper in play here. They're pushing up, they're trying to turn the ball over high.
Ball fed in there by Gray. Inside it goes to Matty Donnelly. Hard to believe that Matty Donnelly hasn't scored, but credit for that must go, of course, to Matthew Walsh. Ball fed back out. Walsh stays on the ground. He has ran himself into the ground. He's stretching there as McKierney. He's a man who'll do some stretching tomorrow. He's covered every blade of grass. Ball is now in the hands down below of Colm Corrigan. He's on the field of play for extra time. Corrigan over to Paddy McNulty, the captain. Route 1, it goes again. Too much distance on that, and the ball breaks favourably for the men from Trillick, and coming out with it strongly there is Dara Goller. No sign of a hamstring injury there whatsoever, and that will please the Trillick management and their supporters. He's a crucial player as Goller, 25 years of age. Ball back inside, it goes there to Richie Donnelly. Donnelly to Lee Brennan. Brennan, much as he done in the first half of the game, threads a brilliant ball into Matty Donnelly, threaded through the eye of a needle, but Donnelly's faced over there by Walsh and also by Kieran Barker. He's the supporting cast over there, and he forces Matty Donnelly to kick the ball out over the end line. Brilliant defensive play by Dungannon.
And again, Matty Walsh out on his feet over there, but fantastic. He's had, it's a arduous task trying to pick up Matty Donnelly. He has done that magnificently, and he shot it. He's over at the far side, hardly fit a walk, but he's going to have to continue playing in that mode. Yeah,
getting a drink over there. He is in a difficult place at the moment, but his side are giving him time to relax a little because they're in possession of the football. And as Ryan Jones feeds it inside to Paddy McNulty. McNulty looked up, thought about delivering it long, but Trillick have the sweeper in there. It's Niall Gormley that's back in there holding up, or Damien Kelly I should say, but the ball is fed eventually out over this side to Quinn, but Quinn's shot has gone to the left hand side and gone wide, and when Trillick look up it's difficult to penetrate because of the number, or when Dungannon look up it's difficult to tread it through.
It's not the type of ball Paddy would normally want, but it's the first time maybe that he's taken the wrong decision. He's strong on his left side, elected to go in right. Kelly happy enough with that. And again, Trillick, Dungannon will be disappointed that Trillick have got away with the last couple of kickouts. Anytime that it's been bombed out the middle, they've done really well. But the tactic now clearly from Trillick is to try and hit it short or to use the wings.
One of the great men of Tyrone football there on our screen a moment ago, that was Cuthbert Donnelly from the Halloo Club, sitting here watching this brilliant spectacle, which is the LCC Group Tyrone Senior Football Championship, brought to you in association with our broadcast partners from Todd's-Leap. That's a heavy challenge there on Kieran Barker, which the referee punishes Niall Gormley, and may well want a little more than a tick. He might want a little talking to Gormley.
Both teams trying to force it a bit. Rory, probably a safer option was give the ball to Derek Gallagher, who was on his left hand. He elected to look for Niall inside, but once again Niall and Conall Devlin having a terrific battle in there. Conall tacking the ball, hands on away from the man, manages to break the ball, and now Dungannon have a free kick in their own half.
Yeah, Kieran Barker, 23-year-old, scored 2 points here this evening. Gets back on his feet, much to the delight of the Dungannon Clark's support, as Mark McKierney comes out with the ball. McKierney spreads the play over the far side of the field. The ball in the hands of Kevin Barker. Barker striding forward for Dungannon. Barker over the 45, lays it back to Donaghy, hit the referee, and unfortunately for Paul Donaghy and for Dungannon, the ball will have to be thrown up, and it hits the referee. It's a throw-up ball. Now,
and again, when bodies are tired, wee simple mistakes. That was careless from Dungannon point of view. But again, men are going to have to throw the bodies on the line. Ball's going to break here.
Well,
Paddy McNulty.
Broken favourably for the Dungannon men, and I suppose justice maybe because of the fact that it did hit the referee when they were in possession. But Donaghy or McNulty has been told to bring the ball forward.
Well, cute play by Paddy McNulty. He had no intention of kicking the ball short, letting on that he was. Trillick players impeded his run, and as a result the referees brought the ball forward. Paul Donaghy this time with his left foot.
Donaghy's shot looks good. Donaghy's shot goes over the bar, sails over the bar. It's his third of the afternoon, and yet again Peter Canavan, the sides are level.
And Dungannon will be happy going in, playing again the breeze here in the first period. I think every game they've played, Arboe, Errigal, they've been behind after the first period of extra time. So again, this will not faze them as we come into the last minute. Again, space on the wing.
8 minutes of the extra time played here in Healy Park. The ball picked up there by Liam Gray. Gray looks up, threads a good ball forward into space, and that space is filled by Daly. Daly gives it forward now to Gavin McCarran. McCarran scored a point earlier in the game. This is a good move. Matty Donnelly. Donnelly, not a good shot into the safe and comfortable arms of Dara Martin. Martin for Dungannon gets it out there to Colm Corrigan. Corrigan spreads the play over the far side of the field, gets the ball back again. Corrigan strides forward, tries to tread a ball into space. The space is filled by Kiefer Morgan. Morgan close to the sideline, does well, cuts inside to get onto the left foot, cuts back inside again. That looks like a free. Referee says no free on that there. Play on, it's the name of the game. Morgan in possession. Morgan looks up, thinks about his option. One of them is Mark McKierney. McKierney holds possession, gives it back to Donaghy. Donaghy threads the ball forward to the man who was involved in the move a couple of times. That's Kiefer Morgan. Back to Donaghy again. Donaghy thought about the shot with the left, but comes back outside again. Gives it to Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones gives it to Mark McKierney. McKierney 45-50 metres out. Back inside it goes to Ryan Jones. Jones to Corrigan. Corrigan back to McKierney. Little move through the middle, but it wasn't spotted, so therefore the ball is recycled and back into the hands of Matthew Walsh. We look at the watch, it says with 15 seconds left in this first period of extra time. Kiefer Morgan from distance. Morgan's shot is on its way, but it's gone to the left hand side and gone wide. But what an effort there.
Yeah, I think he was entitled to, well aware that we're coming to the closing seconds. I think the referee will blow it up now on the kick out, so entitled to have a shot. Jared Kiefer Morgan has managed to get on some amount of ball since he's come into the game. Both wings running the line up front to great effect, so he's had a massive impact for Dungannon.
Yeah, he has been excellent, it has to be said. As a substitute there, I see Oren Mallon going off. We'll have to check who
what a
came on.
fetch by Richie Donnelly.
What a take. One additional minute, and we've played 30 seconds of that one additional minute. Sides locked level here in Healy Park, 111 to 111. This is the Tyrone Senior Football Championship final of 2020. What a game, what a pulsating hour and 10 minutes of football we've had, and we have more to come here on Tyrone GA TV. Rory Brennan is the man in possession. The referee looks at his watch. He gives the ball there to Richie Donnelly. Will Trillick try and force forward here and bomb forward and try and get a score? Ball is in the hands of Kieran Daly. Kieran Daly looks up, 45 metres out. The Dungannon supporters are whistling, looking for the whistle to blow, but the ball is in the hands of Dara Goller. Shane Meehan looks at the watch. Shane Meehan calls for the ball. It's half time here in extra time, and guess what? Sides are level, and who's to say we are going to go for penalties? Yeah, there will be penalties tonight if we finish level, and who's to say we might go that far?
It's again the game perfectly poised. Don't be surprised if that's the way it ends. A game like this, I would love to see a replay, even a Wednesday or Thursday night, rather than decide the game by penalties. But look, that's the way it is. At this stage, again, looking at the body language of both teams, Dungannon probably look as if they're in a better position. They're level at half time. They know that they're going to finish extra time very strong, like they have done in previous games. They've got the benefit of the breeze. These are the goals that they played into against Errigal as well. So Trillick would need to be very wary, and again, game very well set up, Ger.
Yeah, and changes have been made. Colm Corrigan on the field of play there at the start of the game, and so too have the Trillick men made their changes. So there's not a lot of dices to roll, I'd say, for either manager at this juncture of the game. Peter, you go with what you have and you trust with what you have.
Yeah, there's Adrian Scullen, very pensive there. I wonder who he's back in here today. I think there's still a few tweaks that maybe managers can make. The role of Matty Donnelly, maybe take him out to the middle, put Richie inside possibly. I think Dungannon are very happy with their setup with Big Paddy inside. Paddy Quinn is winning ball, Kiefer Morgan getting on ball inside. The one man that Trillick will really want to get on the ball here is Lee Brennan in the second half of extra time. When he was getting on the ball, things were happening. Again, free kicks, Dungannon brilliant, or Trillick brilliant with Lee. So Dungannon need to be very wary that they don't foul. And the kickouts, once again, Trillick hitting all theirs to the wing. Dungannon now feel that maybe they're much stronger in that middle sector of the pitch.
We're a long way away from the stand, but the noise coming from the Trillick or the Dungannon supporters is tremendous, it has to be said.
And Dungannon have players that will not be afraid to pull the trigger here. Paul Donaghy, if he gets a chance, he'll definitely go for it. Kiefer's not afraid to shoot. Paddy Quinn's not afraid to shoot. Paddy McNulty, again, he's coming, the burst that he's coming into the game with, making a difference. We'll talk about subs. Brian McNulty has now come into midfield. I think it might be for Owen Mallon, who's ran himself into the ground. Yeah, I think he's replacing Owen. So again, big strong fella. He's picking up Richie Donnelly in the middle of the park.
Yeah, well, here we go. The last 10 minutes.
And he's made a difference already.
Brilliant take there in the middle of the field there by Brian McNulty, who came on the field to play, as Peter says. So McNulty's in. Of course, he's a first cousin of Padraig McNulty. The ball is in the hands of Daly Jones. We have 10 minutes here to determine where the O'Neill Cup for 2020 will reside. Will it be in Trillick St McCartans, or will it be in Dungannon Clarks for the first time in 64 years? Well, we'll know. Hopefully we'll know in 10 minutes time, or else them we're in for penalties. The ball is in the hands there of Colm Corrigan. Corrigan slips it off over the far side of the field. Dungannon inside there to Kiefer Morgan. Morgan comes inside his man. This is brilliant from Morgan. Still going. Morgan showing his experience. Still Morgan. Did he take it too far? Referee says he had. But what a run from Kiefer Morgan. His confidence is sky high.
Again, he's a go-to man for Dungannon here. They want to get him on the ball. He's not afraid to take the Trillick defenders on. He's going to ask questions of them. So certainly Dungannon will want to get him on the ball. And we'll see Dungannon playing with no sweeper here. They're really going for it. They're pushing up on Trillick, but that does leave a lot of space up front. And if Trillick can kick it in there early, there's acres of space in front of Lee and Niall Gormley.
Yeah, Niall Gormley started to make his move, but that's been tracked by Conal Devlin. Lee Brennan was also inside there making his move. Now the ball is into Gormley. Gormley is faced up by Conal Devlin. Brilliant effort from Gormley. Ambitious, I would suggest, but not a bad effort. But it goes to the left-hand side and goes wide for the Trillick men. So it'll be nerves of steel and experience. All those things will come into play. We talked about this championship when we came on air. We said it was laced with drama, excitement, a championship with extra times and penalty shootouts, late goals and last gasp points, glory and agony, great defensive play, great blocks. Well, this game's had it all as Quinn comes forward for Dungannon. Quinn turns inside, thought about slipping it there, gives it inside this occasion to Donaghy. Donaghy with the opportunity, but he's pulled it badly to the left hand side and pulled it wide, and those were the chances that Paul Donaghy was popping over in the last 3 games.
Absolutely, he was a man that you wanted on the ball there. Brilliant approach play once again by Paddy Quinn, winning the long ball and taking on his man. Had a couple of options, decided to use it well. Kick out for Trillick. Dungannon again very aggressive, pushing up. Paddy McNulty taking the space in front of Richie Donnelly.
Well, these two teams met in the 2014 intermediate final, and that day it was the men from Dungannon who won comfortably 4-11 to 14 points. But then Trillick went on the following year and won the senior championship
And
as Michael Gallagher makes his way
replaced,
off.
and I can only presume that he's cramping or he's picked up an injury, because he's been superb in the half back line once again for Trillick.
Yeah, Daniel McDonald comes back on again. Of course, he started the game and he leaves the field of play. Michael Gallagher, as you say, has made his way off. He can be pleased with his efforts here as the ball breaks. Who wins it? It's the Dungannon man, and it's Walsh. The two number 12s battle there for it, Ryan Gray and Matthew Walsh, and it's a fairly significant challenge on the Dungannon man and the referee Shane Meehan.
Again, it's following on the pattern from half time on. Any balls that are contested in the middle, it's a Dungannon men that are reading the break better, number one, but another sub for Dungannon, Larkin Mallon coming back on again for number 20, Ryan Jones, who's ran himself into the ground. But breaking ball, Dungannon are the team that have shown more appetite for it in the second half.
Larkin Mallon on for Ryan Jones, 23-year-old marketing manager, who's the minor captain, who's the captain of the minor team in Dungannon that won the league in 2014. The ball is in the hands of Mark McKierney. McKierney gives it inside to his captain. His captain is Paddy McNulty. McNulty spreads the play over the far side of the field. Kieran Barker. Barker lays it off. Ball threaded in, looking for Kiefer Morgan. Morgan tried to get the hand up to take the mark, but it was good defensive play on that occasion by Damien Kelly. He forced the error as another change is going to be made. Well, it'll not be made at this particular moment because the ball is in play, but Darren McQuaid will come on for James Gardaí, and the two Gardays have been kept reasonably quiet here this evening as Trillick come again in the shape of their captain Dara Gallagher. Lays it off there to Richie Donnelly. Donnelly gives it inside, sides locked level. Gray thought about going for the shot, goes for the shot. Gray's shot is on its way, but it's gone to the left and gone wide. Another wide for the Trillick men. 1-11 to 1-11. 5 minutes left, Peter Canavan.
Yeah, and he was entitled to go for a shot there, so it's all down to decision making, thinking clearly under pressure. Some man here could make themselves a hero for the rest of their lives in these closing stages.
Well, that's the way it's shaping up. A hero for the rest of your life if you kick the winner in a championship final. You'll be written in the history books of either Trillick or Dungannon for many, many years to come. We hope you're getting value for money watching this broadcast. We're thoroughly enjoying bringing it to you as the Donnellys come forward there. That was Matty to Rory Brennan, but Brennan's turned over. Brilliant defensive play again by Matthew Walsh. What a game this man is having this evening. He is struggling out there big time. So too down below us is Daly Jones, but they will know, and there's McKierney, he's cramping as well. This is a war of attrition. Who can win the battle? Who can win the war? This man has been in the wars all evening, Matthew Walsh. Walsh retains possession, gives it to a man that came on the second half. That's Kevin Barker. Barker has a man screaming for it inside. Can he use it? Did he carry too far? Referee says neither. The ball is in the hands of Kiefer Morgan. Kiefer Morgan has support there from Conal Devlin. Devlin, a dual star, good and handy with the hurling stick as well. Gives it inside there to Kiefer Morgan. Back it goes again. Quinn thought about taking the shot. Quinn still fancies his chances. Quinn's shot is on its way. Quinn's shot has gone over the bar. Patrick Quinn has landed a quite magnificent point for Dungannon Clarks. As soon as he got it, Peter, he had only one thing in his mind: to go for the score.
Absolutely, and it came from a turnover in the Dungannon half. Matty Walsh, brilliant turnover on Rory Brennan that set up that scoring opportunity. Trillick now with 3.5 minutes left. Their leaders have got to stand up. They've got to emerge.
another sub coming on. Number 10 is coming off, Daly Jones. I think I heard 25, was it, Peter? Maybe short 26 it is. That's Conor McKee, the 22-year-old, comes on to the field of play, and really these players are, out on their feet, Peter. That's all I can say.
They're absolutely out on their feet, and for most of the game, every time Trillick attacked, their movement was so good. The man on the ball had 3 or 4 options. Richie Donnelly won that last ball over in the sideline, and literally there was nobody making a run for him. Every player exhausted. So it was Conal Devlin that made that run from cornerback that made the difference. So any player now with a bit of energy left in the legs, they've got to make it tell.
Trillick have only ever lost one final in their very, very proud history. That has seen them win the championship on 8 occasions. The first in 37, 74, 75, 80, 83 and 86, 2015 and 2019. The one they lost was back in 1987 when they lost it to Arbo. Well, what will happen, what will unfold in Healy Park in 2020 in the next 3 minutes will determine whether that record of losing a final will be added to. It's not a record they will want, as the referee has called the ball back. He wasn't happy where it was taken from.
One of the few mistakes that Shane has made probably today. I think he should have played the advantage there. He's 5 seconds in which to let it go. But we talked about Trillick leaders needing to emerge. Fantastic take in the middle of the pitch when Trillick needed to win possession. But now they've got to show patience. They've got to be cute on the ball, and they've got to make it count.
Yeah, and Dungannon have everybody back, and here comes Richie Donnelly. Richie always good for a score, feeds it inside, opportunity is still there, ball fed inside, still the opportunity there. What a block, sensational block by the Dungannon rearguard, and they've turned it over, and out they come with it. They lead this championship final by a point. They're in possession of the football. Trillick push up, try to force the error. Who's come back to help? I wouldn't have to tell you, it's Mark McKerney. McKerney flips it in there looking for Donaghy. Donaghy more aligned to playing the forward game, gives it back there to David Walsh. What a block, Peter Canavan, to get this turnover.
Absolutely, and again courageous from Dungannon, putting their bodies on their line once again, like we've witnessed so many times this year in the championship already. Now it's for 1 minute. Can they hold on to possession? No,
the
they
ball
can't.
is given away by Matthew Walsh, the man who has had a terrific game. Concedes possession. Matty Donnelly inside to the brother Richie. Richie, has he been fouled? Referee says he has been fouled, and this will be the opportunity to level matters. And as you predicted all night, it looks like we could well be going to penalties.
Yeah, and Matty Walsh has been superb all night.
Unbelievable.
Literally hasn't put a foot wrong. And the one possession he gives away, and it has presented Trillick with an opportunity. You would expect Lee to kick it over, but it's the closing stages of the game. The legs are tired. There's no such thing as a certainty. He's kicking again the breeze, but if he scores it, I think we're heading to penalties, Ger.
It's looking that way. It was Brian McNulty was the man who committed the foul on the Trillick player.
Trillick went a point down with a minute or 2 left. We spoke about their leaders. Matty Donnelly caught the kick out. Richie Donnelly was very prominent in that last attack, surging forward. They lost the ball, and once again it was Matty and Richie that were driving them forward, and that have given him a chance, and Matty urging on the rest of his troops here at the minute.
Yeah, and I see the board going up over on the far side of the field, and that will indicates that there'll be 3 minutes of additional time to be played, and whatever else the referee wishes to add on as a result of this injury here. And I would say that we will have at least 4 minutes. I think it's Richie Donnelly that's down receiving the attention. Of course, Richie has been in the wars throughout this championship. Not a lot of movement there, Peter, and that's a worrying sign for the Trillick men.
Yeah, he took a big hit. Both sets of players glad of a breather, I think, at this stage. But there's going to be a passage of play. Some team is going to have a chance here to win the O'Neill Cup for their club. With 3 minutes to play, there's plenty of time. And Dungannon have scored 3 points maybe in this space before in such a short space of time.
Yeah.
So they're well capable of coming back and getting a score. And as I've said, they have men who are keen to get on the ball. Kiefer Morgan wants to kick that winning point. Paddy Quinn wants to kick that winning point. Paul Donaghy will certainly kick it. So it's by no means over.
Certainly not. Lee Brennan should level matters here. He has kicked 1 goal and 6 points in the game to date. This should be 1-7. Here he comes off the ground as normal. Yeah, straight over the black spot. We're all level yet again, Peter.
Brilliant striking, and it'll be interesting to see how aggressive Trillick are pushing up on this kick out, or are they going to concede possession? They seem happy enough to concede it, and they've given the ball to Dungannon.
Yeah, I was surprised at that. I thought they might have pushed up and took their chances. This is the opportunity for them to retain the O'Neill Cup, the first time that would be done since Carrickmore achieved that feat in 2004 and 2005. We'll follow the ball. It's in McKierney, gives it over to Kieran Barker. Barker being forced back. Trillick with the full press now at this stage. Ball in the hands of Colin Devlin. Colin Devlin, he's only 19 years of age, gives it over there to Dara Martin. Martin gets it back to Kieran Barker. They work this very well. They've got it out. Matthew Walsh back outside, it goes to Colin Devlin. Devlin coming forward, leaves it down to Paul Donaghy. We look up the field and it's 3-on-3 in there. Trillick have got no sweepers back as yet. Richie Donnelly trying to get back in there to fill the gap, but it's still 3-on-3. There's a turnover, is there? No, the referee says there's a push on the back, and Dungannon still have the opportunity to retain the possession of the football and come forward and try to win, get this win and score.
What is Shane Meehan, the referee, thinking here, Jet? Is he just waiting on the 3 minutes? Is he happy to blow it? Is he happy to go to penalties?
Well, Paul Donaghy has been pulled down over there, so that's a free to Dungannon. We've played, the 3 minutes are up. The 3 minutes have been played here now. It's up to the referee, a long more he wishes to play. There's a goalkeeper back there, and he's got a defender alongside him. He was thinking,
the referee's going to give Dungannon a chance.
He certainly is. Here come the Dungannon men in the shape of Colin Devlin. Devlin to Matthew Walsh. Walsh gives it to Barker. This is the last chance to learn for both these sides.
Acres of space inside.
Here we go. The ball
Dungannon.
popped forward. Can it be held inside? It hasn't been held inside. The ball has been spilled by Quinn, and now here come Trillick. This is the opportunity for the Trillick men of 2020 to retain the title. Matty Donnelly. Donnelly looks up. Brilliant run on the near side here by Gary McKenna, but still Trillick have it. Ball slipped inside. It's been held there by Matthew Walsh. Brilliant for Walsh again.
They're going to get a chance.
They're going to get a chance. Kevin Barker. Barker will have to run it. He has nobody inside with him.
They have a man free on the far side, Chair.
But he hasn't looked up. He hasn't seen it. The ball is in the hands of McKierney. How his energy levels are sticking, and I do not know. Good ball inside, looking for Morgan. Did he touch on the ground? Referee says no. It's Lorcan Mallon instead. Lorcan Mallon gives it back to McKierney. Now for a hero. Here comes the chance. The ball is in the hands. Oh, it's all over. It is all over, and we will go to penalties. And this incredible, just sensational championship of 2020 has delivered once again, and it just keeps delivering, and we now will face into a penalty shootout to decide where the O'Neill Cup will go for 2020. Peter Canavan, your take on what has been a pulsating game of football?
Just my admiration for both sets of players. You talk about putting your body on the line. These are amateur players. The levels of fitness, something else to behold. Bodies being put on the line, left, right and centre, and they deserve credit. Unfortunately, we're going to have a loser here tonight, and they will look back. And how big is this penalty shootout from a Dungannon point of view? If they come out of here with a victory tonight, this team, and it's a very young team, if they win one championship, they could end up winning 3 or 4 in the next 10 years, without a doubt. If they don't get over the line tonight, there's no guarantee they'll get back to a throne final next year. So massive, and will have massive repercussions moving forward. But it's going to take players to step up now, players to have the nerve. Trillick have been here before.
Yeah. That's probably a significant advantage, Peter, is it?
It is, because I've no doubt Dungannon, throughout the summer would have practiced hitting penalties towards the end, but nothing can prepare you for hitting penalties after you've played an hour and 20 minutes when the body is literally empty. All the pressure in the world maybe is on your shoulders coming up to hit the most important kick of your life. So nothing can really prepare you for that. You can visualise it and do all you want, but it's you need players now to stand up who are going to hold their nerve. When managers are looking around, there's a good chance that both Chris Rafferty and Nigel Cheney knew going into the second period of extra time, they would have been thinking of in the last minute, do we need to get anybody on here to hit a penalty? So players will stand up, I'm sure. They'll know what players are going to hit them. And it's all about that little bit of luck. A goalkeeper guessing the right way can be the difference now in winning or losing the O'Neill Cup.
Yeah, it was interesting in the Killyclara game. Prunches O'Kane, the experienced player, 36 years of age, he was brought on in that last minute of extra time, and for one sole reason, and that was to hit a penalty. But he's not. He's
Yeah,
not
I
on the
see
field
that.
playing.
Yeah, which is probably surprising because.
You need experience, I assume. You know.
Yeah, but look, we come down to luck, and some player hits the ball to one side, goalie goes the wrong way, the penalty looks great. He hits it to the side, the goalkeeper is gassed, and it looks, you know, a poor penalty. So luck has a fair bit to do with it. Let's be honest, but certainly you need players that are prepared to hit the target. The one thing you have to do.
And goalkeepers, Peter, you look at the two keepers here tonight. One of them is 26 years of age. He's played for Tyrone at under 21 and minor level. He won an Ulster minor title in 2012. That's Dara Martin. And then on the other hand, you have the very inexperienced Ryan Kelly in his debut season. But Kelly was the hero against Killyclara.
That's right, and he'll be looking forward to this. Goalkeepers are now getting the chance to really be in the limelight. They can be the hero. I'm just looking to see what side of the goals does the referee appear. Yeah, the toss has just been taken actually now. Yeah. Dara Gallagher and Paddy McNulty coming to the middle of the pitch. Yeah,
and they will determine where they want the penalties taken from and who goes first, I assume. One thing, Peter, the game has been played in a very, very sporting fashion.
Look, it's been like every game in the Tyrone Championship this year. I think the standard has been really high. It's been competitive and it's been fair. And whilst all the talk, coming into this has been really about Dungannon and the way they've won their games, let's take a word out on Trillick as county champions. The way they conduct themselves and play, they're a team that lets their football do the talking. They're not into people's ears. They play hard, they play fair, they play it the right way. It was put to them, a lesser team today and an extra time there would have buckled under that pressure, the way Dungannon was coming at them, but they responded when they went a point down, when they needed a man to win it. They had that, so we've got to give credit. They
modest set of players and management as well.
And discipline when going got tight, they kept at it. They kept doing the right things. So as county champions, that they have been superb. Whether they'll remain county champions, we'll find out in the next few minutes. Well,
it is a lottery, it has to be said. I talked at the beginning of the programme about the super championship we've had. One of the things maybe I didn't refer to too much was the penalty shootouts, but we're going to have another one. There's been a number of them at intermediate level and of course at senior level when Killyclara and Trillick were separated by penalties. We look at the Trillick players down below us here.
So what happens there is your 5 players that the manager has selected stands on the 45. So at one side we'll have the Trillick lads, so at the other side you have 5 Dungannon lads, and the rest of the players and management, the whole camp, are standing out in a line. As we're looking at the screen now, we're seeing the rest of the Trillick group. Those aren't the boys that are hitting the penalty. There we have a better shot of it now.
And look at the goalkeeper and the penalty taker walking up hand in hand, and more or less.
Yeah,
if we can see that on the screen, the goalkeeper and the penalty taker heading up.
Just the goalkeeper, the penalty taker, and if Benny Hurl can move there a wee bit out of the way, well, they'll just be the two of them. Benny's going to be there to snap for team talk, no doubt. We'll see all of it in the days ahead.
Yeah, Niall Gormley will be the first up, and I can identify the Trillick players as the 2 Donnelly brothers, Matty and Richie, Dara Gallagher, the captain, and Lee Brennan also. Those are going to be the 5 for Trillick. So the first man up is Niall Gormley, and he faces Dara Martin. This is the first penalty in the shootout. Niall Gormley for Trillick. Here he comes. No, he's been told to respot the ball, and he'll take another run up at it. Niall Gormley, here he comes, kicks it off the post and into the back of the net. Brilliant penalty by Niall Gormley. 1-0 to Trillick.
Can't hit it any better than that, because Dara Martin actually guessed the right way there, and if Niall hadn't hit that in the very corner, I think the goalkeeper would have saved it. So perfect start, good start from a Trillick point of view, and it's now Kiefer Morgan is the first Dungannon player, left-footed player as well, coming up to hit the penalty for
Kiefer Morgan. What a game he had since he was introduced. He kicked that wonderful point to bring the game to extra time. Here he comes, left-footed, Morgan into the bottom corner of the net. Super score from Kiefer Morgan. 1 penalty apiece. 2 excellent penalties.
Coolness personified by Kiefer, letting on his side, footing it to his left, put it into the bottom right. and Ryan Kelly fully committed himself to the other side. Dara Martin now comes out, hand the ball to Lee. He smiles at him, wishing him all the best.
Lee Brennan. Well, Lee Brennan's had a mixed time in terms of penalties over the last 12 months, but here he comes in the championship final. He's brave, he's stepped up, he's had a wonderful game. He scored 1-7, he's now scored 2-7 because his penalty nestles into the same corner of the net. All three penalties have gone to that bottom right hand corner as we look out here, and Trillick lead 2-1.
And so far, Ger, both goalkeepers have guessed. They've guessed one corner and they've fully committed to going there. So Larkin Mann coming up, a relation of my own, Ger.
Yeah, didn't know that.
So will Larkin decide that the goalie's going to guess? Will he hit it straight down the middle? Will he go for the corner?
Well, Larkin Mallon faces Ryan Kelly. Here comes Mallon. Good run up at it. Same side of the goals, but more down the middle.
Yeah, I'd like to see
others.
it again. I think maybe he was taking into account what the goalkeepers, Trillick goalkeeper, did the previous penalty, and it's a brave man that elects to hit it straight down the middle, because you can be made look very silly if the goalkeeper holds his ground and you kick it straight to him.
Richie Donnelly, the next man up to take the penalty, the Tyrone senior player, 27 years of age, up against Dara Martin, places the ball very, very carefully on the spot, looks at the goalkeeper, looks at the post, he'll kick it right footed. Here he comes, Richie Donnelly against Dara Martin. This is the third penalty for Trillick, right footed, on its way into the same corner of the net again. Wonderful penalties, 3 penalties to 2 in favour of the Trillick men.
And again, it just looks as if a lot of these players have been doing a bit of practice. Very confident strike by Richie. Again, Dara Martin fully committed, going to one side, guessed the wrong side, and we have Dungannon sub.
Conor McKee, who came on as a sub.
Adrian Logan biting the nails. If there's any left there, Logie.
He's certainly one of the stalwarts of the Dungannon club. This is Conor McKee. Conor McKee, he's 22 years of age. Here he comes. Conor McKee, oh, he's hit the post. Conor McKee has missed the first penalty of this shootout. So Trillick continue to lead 3-2. Well, the fortune just didn't go his way. The butt of the post, Peter.
Yeah, you're talking inches. Matty Donnelly coming up next for Trillick. Larkin Mallon going in to console Connor, but again, matter of inches. And in fairness to Ryan Kelly, I think he guessed the right way, and if it had been on target, Ryan certainly would have got very close to it.
The Sensi is certainly with the 2019 champions, and that is Trillick.
Matty throwing the ball. Dara Martin came out to give Matty Donnelly the ball. He threw it at him. Matty says, no, I'm not going to use that one. He elects to take another one. He's taking his time, not being pressurised.
Psychological
big
warfare
kick for
here.
Trillick.
Here comes, this will put them 4-2 in front. Matty Donnelly saved! What a save from Dara Martin! Absolutely brilliant stop. One of the best saves I've seen in a long, long time. And that from Matty Donnelly. 3-2 still.
Well, it's going everything Dungannon do. They don't do it the straightforward way. Paul Donaghy is their next penalty taker. Will he hit it straight down the middle? Will he be determined to place it into one of the corners? Will he blast it?
Well, 3-2 in favour of the men from Trillick. This to level matters up. It'll be Paul Donaghy, the hero of the games to date. Here he comes, shoots, brilliant penalty by Paul Donaghy. Super score, 3 penalties apiece, and now we've had 4 penalties each, so we really are down to sudden death. If Dara Goller scores or misses, evidently then it'll be all over to the last Dungannon player to determine where the O'Neill Cup goes. So here is a big moment, and it's the captain of the team, Dara Goller. It's Dara faces Dara. Dara Goller faces Dara Martin, and Dara Martin's confidence will be sky high after that wonderful save from Matty Donnelly's penalty. Here comes Dara Gallagher, 25 years of age. Here he comes, right footed, saved! It's saved by Dara Martin, and now Peter Canavan, Dungannon have a chance to win the O'Neill Cup if this penalty is scored by Kieran Barker.
It's going to be Kieran Barker, the man that won the game for them with the last kick of the game against Errigal, has now an opportunity to win the O'Neill Cup for Dungannon for the first time in 64 years.
This
What a massive kick.
This is absolutely sensational, absolutely unbelievable. Kieran Barker, what pressure there is on the shoulders of the 23-year-old. He scored 2 points in the final today. Is this history? Here he comes. He's put it over the bar. He has missed the penalty. Kieran Barker, this championship just never ceases to deliver. This is incredible, absolutely incredible. It's still three apiece if my maths are right. This is just sensational, Peter Canavan.
Heart-stopping stuff. Again, falls into line with everything Dungannon do. They don't do it the straightforward way. What happens now, we go back to the start. Ger, it's sudden death.
But you can change the
you
order.
Can change the order.
Yeah.
You can change the order. Trillick are not going to change the order. They started with Niall Gormley as the first penalty taker, and he's going to come up again. Dara Martin has saved 2 penalty kicks already. The referee, Shane Meehan, and his sideline officials having a chat at the edge of the D.
This is so tough on players. It really is, putting them through the ringer after 80 minutes
and
of...
if he had placed it anyway underneath the crossbar, Ryan Kelly had fully committed going to his right. The ball went to his left but flew over the bar. Niall Gormley, sudden death.
Here he comes, Niall Gormley. Oh, it's in the back of the net. The keeper guessed right. I may have come off the keeper.
Not the best of kicks because, Dara Martin with his hands in his head because, or with his head in his hands, sorry, Jerry, because he knows that of the 2 kicks that he's penalties that he saved, that was probably the easiest penalty. Got a hand to it, went into the back of the net. Now Kiefer Morgan has to score to keep Dungannon in the championship.
Well, Kiefer Morgan was the man who came up first for Dungannon and scored the penalty. Now if Ryan Kelly saves this or it goes wide, Trillick will win it. Here he comes. It's in the net. What a penalty by Kiefer Morgan. Nerves of steel from Kiefer Morgan. Blasted into the back of the net. 4 apiece again.
What a kick. And Ryan Kelly guessed the right way. If Kiefer hadn't hit that well, I've no doubt Kelly would have saved it. Now it's back to Lee Brennan, and again Trillick staying in the same order. Lee was second on the list. He's coming up, scored the first one.
A brilliant penalty it was. It went into the bottom right hand corner as we look. Will he do the same again? What will Dara Martin do? Here comes Lee Brennan. An opportunity to put a side one in front. Oh, the opposite side from Lee Brennan. A brilliant penalty from Lee Brennan. Nerves of steel yet again. Super penalty. Now Trillick lead by 1, and in sudden death the whole pressure goes back onto the men from Dungannon. This is riveting, absolutely riveting stuff. Wherever you are in the world, I am sure you are glued to this. This is sensational stuff. Lorcan Mallon, he's the man. He scored the second penalty for Dungannon. Here he comes again. He knows that if he misses this, that Trillick will be the champions in 2020. So too does Ryan Kelly. So it's Lorcan Mallon against Ryan Kelly. Here comes Lorcan Mallon, shoots, and it's just about made it into the bottom corner. Lorcan Mallon, Ryan Kelly guessed the right way. The drama continues, Peter Canavan.
I think it went through Ryan Kelly's hands. Again, a bit like Dara in the previous one. He has now got his hands on his head, knowing that he could have saved that. He could have won the O'Neill Cup for Trillick. So we're talking about this being a game of inches. Literally, that's what it is.
5 apiece. Sudden death. We're on to our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, our 8th penalty taker.
Richie
and this
Donnelly.
time it's Richie Donnelly. He took the third one first time round. Here comes Richie. Shoots. Brilliant. Oh, is it hit the, it's in the net. The back stanchion. Back stanchion.
Again, if Lee's penalty was good, that was even better as well. Fantastic striking by Richie Donnelly. And next up we have Conor McKee. Conor hit the post in the first cycle of kicks.
Conor McKee
will he go for the same side?
Yeah, he missed his kick, did Conor McKee the first time round, but he has no option but to step forward, the 22-year-old. It'll take some nerve for Conor McKee to plant this on the back of the net. He must do this or Trillick are the champions. Here comes Conor McKee against Kelly, and it's made its way into the back of the net. Not the best penalty that you'll ever see, but it somehow makes it into the back of the net, and there's level again, 6 apiece.
I think he guessed that the goalkeeper was going to go. I think he strolled it or kicked it straight down the middle of the goal. Very brave kick by Conor, especially after he had missed the first one.
So we're on to...
Maybe he was having a few words with Matty on the way in.
9th penalty.
Yeah.
So
Matty had the first one saved. He headed to the goalie's right hand side. Darren Martin pulled off a great save. Matty's second kick.
Here he comes, Matty Donnelly against Darren Martin, the county captain. Matty Donnelly shoots, down the middle. Calmness, coolness, calmness personified there. 7-6 to Trillick.
Again, the last 2 kicks, they've been watching the goalkeeper. Both goalkeepers guessing they're going one way. At some stage, maybe Ryan Kelly or Darren Martin will decide to stand still and make an easy save. So Paul Donaghy to keep Dungannon in with a chance of winning the O'Neill Cup.
Well, here comes Paul Donaghy. He slotted his penalty away first time round. This is huge. Donaghy against Kelly. What a penalty from Paul Donaghy. We could be here all night. This is just incredible stuff. 7 apiece. Firstly it was Matty Donnelly, then Paul Donaghy has squared it up again. Confidence soaring through these players now. And next up is Dara Goller, the man who missed first time round.
This reminds me of an Antrim Club Championship match last year where the club chairman came in after they were hitting free kicks and both teams literally couldn't miss, and he called it off. He said, lads, we're going to a replay. I wonder, is that going through Mickey Kerr's head at the minute? But Dara Gallagher next up.
The two Daras again face off. Dara Goller against Dara Martin. First time round, it was Dara Martin who won the battle. Second time round, who will it be? Dara Goller has the ball on the penalty spot. Dara Martin makes himself big and goes. Here he comes. Martin, he's kept it over the bar. It's gone over the bar from Dara Goller. And now Dungannon have another chance. One more chance for Dungannon to win this O'Neill Cup for the first time in 64 years on the 10th penalty. And who will it be, Peter Canavan?
As Kieran Barker coming up. Kieran blasted the first one over the bar. Have no doubt he's going to get this one on target. It's where he puts it. It'll be a brave kick if he hits it down the middle, because Ryan Kelly has been guessing one way or the other.
Well,
Shane Meehan's telling him to put it back. So again, like the first time round, Kieran has a chance to win the O'Neill Cup for Dungannon.
Yeah, Kieran Barker took the 5th penalty the last time round, and he was in the same position. He had a chance to win it for Dungannon. First time in 64 years. Barker has done it! Barker has done it! Look at the scenes! Unbelievable! Kieran Barker has just won the championship for Dungannon Clarks for the first time in 64 years. Incredible scenes out on the field. 1908, 1909, 25, 29, 33, 35 and 36, 44, 47, 51 and 56. And now in 2020, the team that just would not go away, Peter Canavan, have delivered the goods. And all of Dungannon, wherever you are in the world, you are overjoyed with this occasion. This has just been incredible.
Absolutely brilliant, and one of the best ever championships that there's been in Tyrone. What a way to have won your first title in 64 years. 4 games where each one of them a draw, extra time, coming strong to win it, and to win your first title in 64 years in penalty in the manner in which they did. Fully deserved. Trillick players and a number of Dungannon men coming over to shake hands with the desolate Trillick squad. They put up one hell of a fight, but you've got to take your hat off to a magnificent performance after such a poor start today. Dungannon, Thomas Clarks, our county champions.
You think of men like Mickey Kelly, Oliver McHugh, Adrian Logan, Dick Cahalan, and many other stalwarts of the Dungannon side. You think of their manager Chris Rafferty and all the work he has done, Terry Loughlin, Collie Holmes, the influence of all those people. What this means, this is just incredible. What the scenes down below us here are incredible, but what it means for this club, what it means for this community, and the fact that Eden Dork won last night as well for the Dungannon parish. This has been just a dream weekend.
Absolutely, and I hope you didn't leave Art McCrory out of that list of great Dungannon men. I see Adrian Logan, instead of jumping and cheering about, he's coming over to shake hands with the Trillick men. And again, Mark McKierney, one of Dungannon's best players today, one of Dungannon's best players throughout the championship. To me, probably player of the championship in terms of being the most consistent. He's going around shaking hands with every one of the Trillick players. What a sportsman.
Mickey Kelly, look at him hugging there on the left of the screen. 64 years of hurt, 64 years of pain have all been erased, and I can tell you that them players and them supporters just don't really know what's going on at this stage. They just cannot take it in. This is incredible. Peter, you've been involved in many championship finals. I've been involved myself with my home club Devonish in championship finals, and days like this are just
you'll never
incredible.
forget.
You'll never forget.
Dungannon people will never forget this year. They'll never forget that game. Those that were fortunate enough to be able to be in Healy Park. Remarkable scenes, remarkable game. But for the Dungannon people all over the world, this is a day they'll never forget. And it will stay with them. And the point I made earlier, this team, the average age of that team is only 22, 23 years of age. And there's no reason now why they can't go on to greater things. Unfortunately for them, they've no Ulster club. This is as far as it goes this year. I think they'll be happy enough for that. But this team's going to go on without a doubt. They're going to be stronger. They're going to go from strength to strength. And the manner in which they won it, Jet, and any great team, you have to hold your nerve when the going gets tight. And every day they played, they went out, they held their nerve, they kept discipline, they played football, there was no nonsense out of them, they stuck to their task the whole way through. So you've got to give immense credit to Chris Rafferty, Collie Holmes and the rest of the management team for the way that they've turned this Dungannon team around. They were complete outsiders at the start of the year. Their league form didn't lie. They were undefeated in the league and played some great football. So they're worthy winners. Let's make no mistake about it. They're deserving county champions.
And walking up to lift the cup for the first time in 64 years is Padraig McNulty, the captain of the team. He shakes hands with the county chairman. That over there is Michael Kerr, the county chairman, Joe Doyle there with the video in front. But a quick word on Trillick. They have been incredible champions, and it's so tough on them. They lost out in the Ulster Club last year on penalties, and Nigel Seeney, even after the won and beat the Killyclogher men, he came out in the press and said he wasn't in favour of the penalty shootout, and again he's on the wrong end of the shootout tonight.
Yes, look, it's, the game had to be decided. What excitement it brings. Yes, it puts pressure on players, but look, nobody's going to hold it against the Trillick players that missed. The Dungannon players missed tonight. They're big enough to get on with that to cope. Yes, they'll have regrets, as you do throughout the game. But if you analyse the game, every mistake was costly in that regard. One kick, one wide, one shot that hit the post could have been enough to win it. So it doesn't just come down to penalties. But it is a hard way to lose, there's no doubt about it. But Dungannon jubilant in the middle of the pitch, and rightly so.
Well, I'd say Michael Kerr will have a long wait before he gets the players over, and I think we just watched the celebrations there, just joyous scenes, and I think it would be right to give the Dungannon men time to come over there and lift the cup. We need all the players over there, because this is a moment in their lives, a moment in their footballing careers that will live with them right to their final breath, Peter.
Yeah, and you mentioned their neighbours in Edendork that won the intermediate title, and what a game that's going to be next year when the two play. Paul Donaghy, top scorer. His display against Arbogher, and you were there, was one of the finest that I've probably ever seen in Tyrone Championship. He was absolutely superb. Didn't set the world alight tonight, but he still contributed in terms of that pass for the goal into Paddy Quinn. He worked so hard off the ball.
3 points and 2 penalties.
Yeah, and his penalties was superb. So a very worthy winner of the top scorer in Tyrone, and a real genuine fella to boot.
Well, we'll take a break here, because we'll have an opportunity to listen to the county chairman Michael Kerr as he makes the presentation to Padraig McNulty, the Dungannon Clark's captain.
This year, the GA is totally different from any other year. Every championship match in Tyrone has been a sellout, and I want to thank all the clubs and their spectators for their cooperation for this last 5 weeks. To the volunteers within the Tyrone clubs, I want to thank you for the help that you give all your communities in the current pandemic. The strength of our organisation is our community base, and I urge our volunteers to keep the community safe and continue with the great work of promoting our association. I want to thank our sponsors, the LCC Group, for the continued supportership of Tyrone GAA. I want to thank the Lougher family for all they do for the GAA in Tyrone and all the clubs in Tyrone, and I urge all our members to support our sponsors at club and county level. I want to thank Ashley McCord to Derry Loughan for her rendition of Around the Vein. I want to thank and congratulate our referee Shane Meehan and his team of linesmen and umpires for a job well done today. Unfortunately today wasn't to be Trillick's day, but you were worthy champions last year and you represented our county extremely well. This year you produced great football, and the games against Killyclogher and Killale will live long in the memory of all the supporters of GAA in Tyrone. I'm sure the great work that's continuing with youth in Trillick, you'll be about for a long, long time to come, and all the best, Trillick, and thank you. To Dungannon, Thomas Clarks. After 4 brilliant matches, every one of them going to extra time, you are more than deserving champions of Tyrone in 2020. The resurrection is nothing short of a miracle, because a few years ago you were junior football, but you knuckled down, you invested in your youth, and the spoils of that labour are to be seen here today. I want to congratulate all those within the club that have been associated with developing this team, and I wish you every success next year when you go to defend your senior championship title. And without any further ado, I'm going to present the O'Neill Cup, the winners to Connie McNulty, LCC Senior Championship 18-20. Connie has 4 pages. Honestly, lads, I can't stop crying. Oh, this has been an absolute dream of every man in this club. It's been far too long, and I absolutely love this club. This means everybody in this club. Up the Clarks! It's been years of hard work, dedication by everyone in our club, all the players, past players, sponsors, family members. This is all down to you. This is all down to Dungannon. I just want to thank Trillick for the unbelievable game. Penalties is no way to lose, but three cheers for Trillick. Hooray! A big hooray! Hooray! There's a quote by Thomas Clark that I absolutely love. Clench your teeth and never say die. We never die. We refuse to lose. There's two places that I want to bring this cup to. It's just the middle of O'Neill Park, the home of football, the home where we play week in, week out. The Iggy Jones room and the Hill of O'Neill. They're coming back to Dungannon! That's it. That's enough. Up the clock!
One, two. Well, you join us here at pitch side. We've moved out of the commentary box. Peter Canavan and Chris Rafferty. What wonderful scenes. Chris, you must be the happiest man in, well, you're the happiest man in Healy Park, but you must be the happiest man in Ireland.
I can see there's a hell of a lot of competition from Dungannon people for that accolade. We are absolutely delighted. This is something that we haven't even been able to dream about. It has been that far away, and I'm absolutely delighted for the players, the supporters, for everybody associated with GAA and Dungannon, because this means so much. There's so many more people than got to wear the jersey today.
And how has it happened, Chris? You said it's something that you've only could dream about. How has this happened?
I think you have to be fair, the stars have aligned. We had everybody fit, and we had a great sense of camaraderie, and we have kept at it and kept at it and kept at it, and that has stood to us to no end.
And momentum just built and built and built throughout this campaign and culminated in a quite sensational victory here tonight.
Yeah, well, if anybody embodies the concept refuse to lose, I think this team has, and they deserve every accolade that they're going to get.
And they're a young team, Chris. The average age is, what, 22 years of age?
22, 23. They have a lot more miles to go on the clock, and
that's the O'Neill Cup.
That's the first time I've ever touched it. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a scene, right? Paddy, will you come in here and join us? The captain of the team. Well, that's brilliant scenes here pitchside. Paddy McNulty, the winning captain of Dungannon Clarks, the 2020 champions of Tyrone. How does that sound?
Unbelievable. I can't stop crying. It's a dream from you're playing this height, and it came true. It came true, and I am over this moon. This town it's been 64 years since we last won it. This town is going to be mad.
And can you believe you've done it? Can you believe you've just lifted the O'Neill Cup?
About 8-10 years ago, we were in Division 3. I never believed it. We kept working on it. It's an absolute dream, and it's everything. It's everything.
What about the celebrations tonight?
If you want a party, come to Dungannon.
Good man. Well, look, enjoy the celebrations, and thank you for joining us here on Tyrone GAA TV.
Thanks very much.
Peter, well, that's just a quick synopsis of the scenes here.
Raw emotion. A lot of these lads never believed it. A lot of lads in tears coming down the staff, parents in tears, supporters. Just remarkable scenes, and it shows you what can be done, and the hope that that'll give to so many other clubs that have never won an O'Neill Championship, that anything's possible. But as I said up there, if a team ever deserved to win it in the manner in which they went about their business, the way they won it, we'll never see another championship like this again. Without doubt, it's been superb. Just unfortunately we didn't have that many here tonight, but for the viewers, I'm sure there's certainly good value for money.
And Eugene, we were talking about the viewers here. I'd like to get Kieran Barker if he's about. If any man can get me Kieran Barker, I'd like to get a word with him because I'd love to know what he was thinking of. But in case we don't get him, Eugene, this has been a brilliant Tyrone Championship, not only at senior and intermediate, but and junior as well. And you must take an awful lot of credit for delivering it, live streaming of every game this year. You must be very proud.
Yeah, as a Tyrone man, I'm definitely very proud, but I have to really give credit to guys like you, Peter and Jer, and all the other guys have stepped in and made this happen for us. You know, all I do is maybe coordinate the thing and hope that it happens, but luckily enough this year it has been a fantastic advert for Tyrone football, and I think as Peter summed up there, the championship of all championships, and just to all the people all over the world, hopefully that's something we can build upon and, you know, bring, because people deserve to be able to see their parish team playing in a championship final, and the numbers tonight is just astronomical, and it's just fabulous to be able to provide that happiness.
And let's be honest about it, you know, we're in the embryonic stage of delivering this streaming, and not everything goes according to plan, and we will have critics and things will go wrong, but in the main it's a voluntary effort that everybody is putting so much time and effort, and particularly yourself, into. So, you know, the critics maybe are out there, but maybe unfairly so because of the tremendous effort that's been put in by so many volunteers.
Well, it's like everything, you know, there's people that you can't please all the time, but, you know, we can only take small steps in the hope that eventually all the wee technical issues will eventually get ironed out, and, you know, we will get bigger and better. Our first year we streamed 5 games, our second year we streamed live. This year we've now streamed 37 and there's another 9 to go, so we're almost home.
I hope we're almost home because, Peter, you've been with me on a number of occasions, and some of these games have just been incredible. You know, we've been privileged to commentate on them.
I think Sky's looking for this man's number, the job he's doing here with Tyrone GATV, but absolutely, it's all about what happens on the pitch. It's easy to commentate on the show, but when players put in that emotion and that effort and bring what Dungannon have brought to the party this year, then anything's possible. And again, we've got to mention Trillick and the role that they played tonight. The role that they played in the championship as county champions has been superb, and they give it everything here tonight. But after the manner in which Dungannon have played, they are fully deserving county champions.
And is there something maybe that, you know, a team that wins the championship now can go either one or two ways? They can build on that, or they can rest on their laurels. And is that how do you address that?
Well, they appear to have a very strong management in place because they have taken them virtually from nowhere, and they mightn't say it themselves, but from an outsider's perspective, they certainly have come from nowhere. And they've managed to gel a team together that's playing for one another, that's prepared to die for one another on the pitch, and that's very evident here tonight. The other thing about leaders within, there seems to be a number of real good leaders within that squad, level-headed players, the likes of McKierney and Paul Donaghy. So them boys are going to be here for quite a while. And as I said in the commentary, this is the first of many, I would say, for Dungannon.
And I'm joined here by Kieran Barker. We only have a couple of minutes left on the broadcast, Kieran, but I wanted to get a word with you because you've been the hero against Eric Kieran. You're the hero tonight. You will go down in the history of Dungannon Clarks for scoring the winning penalty and bringing the O'Neill Cup back to Dungannon. How does that feel?
It doesn't seem real. I don't know if I would have been the hero now if would I lost that after my first penalty, but here I went in and that's the main thing. And it was one penalty, but the work was put in by everybody. It wasn't. You can't put it down to one kick.
And when you stood up to take that second penalty, you'd missed the first one. What was going through your head? You knew you had the opportunity to win the O'Neill Cup. What was going through your head? You're only, 22 or 23?
23. What was going through my head, I got up, and the former teammate of mine, Cian Corrigan, he was taken away with illness whenever he was 11 years of age. I was going through my head, I saw Cian just help me out here, and I went in, but again, anybody could have hit it. It's not. It is yourself.
And when it hit the back of the net, what was your thoughts? What was your feeling?
It just didn't seem real. That's the only thing I can say. It still hasn't sunk in, and I don't know when it will sink in, but hopefully never, maybe, I don't know. But
you're in dreamland. We'll let you go back to celebrations. Thanks for joining us. That's Kieran Barker. So, guys, that's more or less a wrap. Thanks a million for your contribution, Peter and Eugene, for all the work that went on behind.
There's just one man asked me to say a big shout out to Danny Barr's son in Australia, and he just wanted to say that he's tuned in and watching the Clarks bring the cup home to Dungannon.
Well, that's a good note to finish on. Folks, wherever you are in the world, if you're a Dungannon fan, you are absolutely elated. If you're a Trillick fan, well, you've played your part in what has been a sensational championship final. We thank you for watching us here on Tyrone GA TV tonight. And until we meet again next weekend for the Tyrone Junior semi-finals, thank you for joining us on this broadcast, and Slán go fóill.